am hurt. You pulled me close to you. You brought me here, a place where I can find myself in you. I won't back down, freedom is what I choose. No more fear, 'cause I have found my happiness in you.
Welcome to the Champion Sports Network, coming at you live from Waxahachie, Texas in the Life School Stadium. Friday Night Lights is here. I'm Adam Ferguson, joined by my broadcast partner, Tim Roberts. Tim, is there anything better than Friday night high school football on a windy Texas night?
There's just a tiny bit of a chill in the air, and it's almost perfect for some Friday night football here, Friday night conference football. So it's some meaningful high school football here tonight in Waxahachie.
We have the 2-4 Alvarado Indians coming on the road here to Waxahachie to take on the Life School Mustangs. But first, our very own John Cookman is catching up with head coach Micah Stanley down on the sidelines. John, down to you.
Thanks, Adam. I'm down here on the field with head coach Micah Stanley. Coach, COVID-19, I mean, it's not new news, but the fans out there really are wondering what it's like in the front lines. How are you dealing with it as being a head coach and passing that on to your coaches and your players? How do you guys overcome COVID-19?
You say mask up a lot. You never thought that your day would be being the mask police. Yeah, and having to tell kids, constantly, hey, make sure you're distancing. You're used to calling everybody up, and then you call everybody up, and then you're like, okay, space out a little bit. Just kind of the way that you structure practice even has changed. We keep all of our teams separate, so we've got a JV and a freshman kind of combined team. They don't practice with the varsity. We keep them out of the locker rooms. They don't go in the locker room together. They don't go in the weight room together. They don't mingle, just to try to prevent what's going on with the possible spread of it. Obviously schools are different than what they've been. We've got some kids that come face-to-face in school. Some of our kids are remote learners, so they stay home throughout the day and do their work online. Having those kids come up and be able to get practice times in and lifting and all the different things that you honestly took for granted in past years, now you see how blessed really the state of Texas is that we have athletic periods and we're not having to try to do that stuff after school or before school. So I'm sure that a lot of coaches feel the same way, that we go, man, we really love the way that it was and we're ready to get back to it.
That's understandable. So not only COVID-19 has been a problem, but last couple games you've suffered some injuries, a key spot in the QB. How are you going to overcome that tonight? Who's going to step up in the big role?
Yeah, it's crazy. We've got two stepbrothers that were playing quarterback. So the younger of the two was our starting quarterback, and he's out. And so his stepbrother will step up tonight. And he's done great this year. He's really a guy that we've been pretty high on all year. He started off the year on the sub-varsities for us, but really quickly kind of proved that he could be up at that higher level. Now we're just ready to see that happen for him tonight, going through district. We've had some injuries in other places, but we've got kids that, we're ready to see what they can do, and they're excited about being in the game and getting ready to prove what they can do as well. So injuries are one of those things that we don't like to see happen. We know we like to say have a next man up mentality, but obviously you don't want to see your starters go down, but that's what you have to do. The next man has to play, and we hope to perform at a high level.
Well, that's understandable, and it's never easy to overcome adversity, but a coach like you who preaches overcoming adversity, we expect to see the next man up mentality, and that's going to be great. It's going to be a good test for your ball club tonight. Tell all the Mustang fans out there, what makes it so great to be the head football coach at Life School Waxahachie?
You know, these kids are just amazing kids to be around, and we talk about it all the time in our coach's office and with the teachers here. We have great kids. We have really, really great kids who you love to be around and who you want to be around. And then when you're at a school that emphasizes the character traits that Life School emphasizes, and then you can just really mold what, you know, all coaches really try to do, I really feel like. But our school really supports that and has, I think, a lot of resources to build upon that, and so that just makes it a whole lot easier on our end to make sure that we're teaching those kids to be ready for life after life, is what we like to say a lot. So, you know, we're teaching kids character skills that are going to get them ready to be great men, be great young women, to be great husbands and wives and fathers and mothers and great citizens. And our school really, really does a great job of supporting us in that.
Thank you, Coach, for your time. And fans, we're going to roll tonight. I got a good feeling. All right, back to you, Adam.
Tim, it's homecoming tonight. Not only do we have Friday Night Lights, it's a big one here for the Mustangs. Homecoming night here against Alvarado.
That is always a game when you look back on the schedule. You want a W there. No matter what happens for the rest of the season, you want a W on homecoming. So the Mustangs with a little bit more to play for tonight just by having that little asterisk by the game.
If you take a look at the numbers here between both of these teams, they look very similar in terms of the points scored and the total yards a game. But Tim, these two teams could not play any differently on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, neither team is averaging more than 300 yards a game, but they do it in totally different ways. Alvarado, they pound it on the ground thanks to William Labermeyer. He has just been a workhorse for them this year. He is only 24 yards away from passing 1,000 yards on the season, and we're just in Game 7 for them. So watch for that happening tonight. Meanwhile, for the Mustangs, it's happened to the air. Not a whole lot of ground games. So it'll be interesting to see how those two different, totally contrasting styles come out there. But ultimately, this looks like it could be a very low-scoring game decided by the defense.
Don't be surprised if we were talking before the game. Don't be surprised if it could be 17-14 at the final horn. But we've got 48 minutes of high school football coming your way. And Tim, it's exciting. You get the bands in the background. You get the crowd in the air. We almost feel like we have our own little booth up here because we're taking precautions here for COVID-19. We're not surrounded by anybody except for ourselves. It's almost like our own little VIP section up here.
It's pretty nice. You get 50-yard line seats, nice little bubble. I mean, they usually charge big money for these seats.
Usually,
we got them.
typically. Well, you see the teams taking the field. They are excited. It is homecoming night. Now, we will talk a little bit here in just a few minutes about a new face leading the offense of this Mustangs team. They do like to do their offense through the air, but we will talk a little bit about who's going to be taking the snaps tonight in the absence of Caden Mayfield, and it will be it's going to be interesting. You never know what you're going to get with a back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the night that he shines and remembers forever, or it could be very tough. Anytime you have to, go out there on short notice and be a backup quarterback, all the pressure's on you in that moment.
And it's homecoming. If we have to say it again, it's homecoming. It's a pretty big stage. A lot of people out here tonight to see the Mustangs walk away with a win. And Tim, you mentioned earlier, it is a conference game. Meaningful play here, and both teams could really use a win after the not-so-close games of their last outcomes for both of these teams.
Yeah, neither of these teams really had great outings last week. Obviously, Waxahachie Life losing to Waco La Vega, and then Alvarado losing to Midlothian Heritage. Neither game particularly close, so now they are going to be gunning for a very big chance to get a very crucial conference win. That's what matters. There's two boxes in the standings. That's the box that matters most. You need to get that one in the box tonight if you're Alvarado or Waxahachie Life.
And you have to think that the margin of scoring between the last two teams' losses, it's got to sit poorly, sourly in the mouths of both of these teams. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back for Alvarado on the road here in Waxahachie against Life School, the Mustangs, right here on the Champion Sports Network. welcome back. We are ready for the coin toss, and it looks like
Life won and deferred.
They deferred.
If I was reading the body language well enough from up here, sometimes I'm wrong though. So we'll see when they line up for the kickoff.
we talked about the offense to start the game. You and I have done games together across the last couple of years. You know I'm a fan of deferring, starting out on defense, setting the tone on the defensive side.
Especially on a night when you look at those points for the year. Alvarado not quite averaging 16, Waxahachie Life not quite averaging 18. So you just know this is going to be a night that's going to be very much determined on the defensive side of the ball. So if you can get one possession ahead straight out of the snap, go ahead. So now we have the national anthem.
We got the national
start the game off.
Yeah, national anthem, opening kickoff coming your way right here on the Champion Sports Network.
Thank you. Please remain standing as the Mustang Band performs our national anthem under the direction of Anthony Gaddy.
There you have it, national anthem. We are set to go here in Waxahachie. Again, it is a beautiful night out here. The winds are going to average between maybe a little 8 and 15 miles an hour here tonight, and it is a nice cool night here in Waxahachie. Tim, you couldn't ask for better weather for a Friday night football game.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, obviously, we know in mid-October you can still have 95 degrees. Actually, I think it's going to be like 98 on Sunday. So we got this one right in under the gun before we be up here sweating again. So it is nice to feel a Texas fall. Not a fall for most of the country, but definitely a Texas fall.
There you see the current standings in Texas 4A-1, District 5. La Vega, of course, who just beat Life School 62-0 at the top of the division, not surprising, 4-1, and there you see Life down at the bottom with Alvarado kind of hovering in the middle of the pack at 2-4. But Tim, these conference games, they are what matters, and it's a big one tonight. Both teams looking for a win. That's
how you punch tickets to the playoffs, winning these conference games. So both teams know this is a good shot to pick one up.
And it will be Life School kicking off to the Indians here to start the game. So they elect to defer and take the kickoff in the second half. So we will see the ground attack offense of Alvarado to start this game. Again, you mentioned him earlier, senior Will Labermeyer just has been phenomenal so far this season. Almost 1,000 yards. Needs just one rushing touchdown to break double digits and hit 10 on the season.
So don't be surprised with that tonight as the kick is away.
It is a short one, and then it hits, and it's dangerous and fielded and just dropped on by Hagan McGee.
And McGee does a good job there, just corralling it and getting down. That's a dangerous kick right there. Whenever it starts bouncing around, that ball's live, so you got to hop on it.
So decent field position here for the Life School defense. You really can't ask for much better on a kickoff to be inside your opponent's own 20-yard line, right at the 15.
Yeah, pin him inside the 20, especially when the touchback is at the 25. That's a 10-yard change right there by having that little drop kick.
So we will see how the Mustangs come out on defense, and no surprise here, a powerful formation here for the Indians, sends a man in motion. So they do end up having two split out wide. It's going to be a toss to the right. running hard, but stopped after a gain of about 3. That was William Labermeyer. We talked about again pregame. He is the guy to watch on this Indians offense.
Good job by the Mustangs defense to crash on it pretty well. They didn't bite on the motion. Sometimes when that motion goes into place, the play goes to the other side. They didn't let that fool them. They kept their eyes on the ball and kept Labermeyer from going from too much more than just 4 yards.
West Connor is the quarterback for this Alvarado offense. Snaps the ball and hands it off to this running back in the backfield. He goes forward for about 3 yards. There it is. His man to go to again is Labermeyer. So it's going to bring a 3rd down and manageable here for Alvarado. 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, 2 3-yards in a cloud of dust runs, and that brings up this 3rd and call it short, especially when you have a running back like Labermeyer, and a big chance for the Waxahachie Life defense to get a quick 3-and-out to start this game.
So not often in high school nowadays we see quarterbacks taking snaps from under center. He is going to hand it off to Labermeyer, and he is dropped in the backfield, and Life is going to get a 3-and-out to start this game, assuming that Alvarado will send out their punting unit, and they will, and that is a great start to this game for the Mustangs defense, shutting down the rushing attack of the Indians.
And that's Devin Dalloway and Sevin Butler getting into the backfield, winning that battle up front and upending Labermeyer for a loss back to the 20-yard line, and it will be a 3-and-out. Great start for the Mustangs defense.
On to punt is Alvarado. They get it away. Jackson Pate has it bounce at the 40, and it's going to take a good roll for the Indians. You can't really ask for a better punt than that, basically from where you were at on the field. It puts Life in their own territory, but you got to be happy if you're the Mustangs offense here today.
That's why you talk about deferring. You defer, you win that battle on defense. Now you're taking over right just shy of midfield. And a chance now, you want to talk about in the backup quarterback tonight.
coming in for Caden Mayfield, who is out tonight. Colby Gramella, the junior quarterback, wearing number 18 for this Mustangs offense. And we were informed before game the stepbrother of previous quarterback, Caden Mayfield. So there is a close relationship there. So you got to think that they're teaching each other a thing or two at the quarterback position. They come out and he sends a man in motion. He's going to have 5 wide, empty backfield here.
That's an aggressive stance with the backup quarterback right out of the gate.
Mella takes the snap from the shotgun, back to pass, swings it out to the flat. Real quick hitter. Can he make a man miss? He can. He cuts it back out to the outside. Another man miss. Pass to 50. Move it up for a 1st down. Good job there by Detrian McCoy.
Ball popped loose, but the refs are saying he was down. And yeah, that is all McCoy. Really, the blocking assignments didn't really succeed there. McCoy is stuck on an island right here and just makes move. And here another just whoop-de-doop move. Getting down to the 40-yard line.
It looked like he was heading for the sidelines and stopped on a dime, cut it back upfield. 1st and 10 here, moving the chains are the Mustangs. Gramella, empty backfield. He's back to pass, deep drop. He's going to go deep down the middle, and it's picked off at the 15-yard line. Caden Ford with the interception, and he drops the ball, a fumble, and it's recovered by the Mustangs. They're going to keep possession here, and that has got to be incredibly frustrating for Caden Ford. Played the position perfectly, got the interception, trying to make too much of the return, and ends up fumbling the ball.
Kason Rogers is going to get the recovery. Let's see who actually forces it. It looks like it's going to be Darius Fuller potentially who knocked it loose. It's hard to tell in there with that scrum. So in the end, it's a 4-yard gain. A little floater gets intercepted, but 2 turnovers on the same play. Even the offense is playing pretty good defense tonight already.
So it will be 1st and 10, like you said, about a gain of 4.
Just how you drew
a couple tired players. Swings it out to the flat. It's McCoy again. Can he make a man miss? He cannot. That is a really good tackle in the open field there by Jason Bolton. Drops it for a loss of 1.
Yeah, Bolton does not get fooled by the little deke here. Stays very clear, trips him up, and yeah, bring up a 2nd and 11. As he had open space.
He did.
He had some open space to run, and for a second it looked like he might be off at least at the 30-yard line.
Really good open field tackle there by Bolton. Will be 2nd and 11 here. Gramella with McCoy in the backfield. 3 bunched out to his right, 1 to his left. He takes a snap, he's back to pass. He's going deep down the left side of the field. He has a man open, he catches it, and he is gone! That will be a touchdown, first of the game, scored by Dralian DeQuire, and the Mustangs will take a 6-0 lead here, barring an extra point.
And that is just a picture-perfect pass from Dramella. Kind of has to hop into it, but lays it right in stride to DeQuire for a 41-yard touchdown pass. You couldn't ask for much more for a backup quarterback coming out of the gate. That was a beautiful pass for the touchdown.
On for the extra point is Kennedy Hartman. He gets it up, and it is good, and they will take a 7-0 lead. And we talked about the differences in the offenses. We saw Alvarado come out, run the ball 3 times in a row, and then Life comes out, airs it out.
Throws
nothing but passing offense.
4 straight passes. And of course, that really is 2 drives.
Yep.
Because they had an interception midway through. And so it is that keeping that alive right there, that could have been a huge change in momentum if Alvarado could have hung onto that ball. Instead, Life takes a quick 7-0 lead with just 8.5 left in the first quarter.
Capitalizing on the turnover, as odd as it was, capitalizing on the turnover off of the interception by Alvarado in the defense. But you got to feel good. That's how you come out with your backup quarterback. The interception got away from him a little bit down the middle of the field. It was kind of a tough throw. Try to go deep with it. And, it was just a really, really good play on the side of Jason Bolton. But he recovered really well and threw a really good deep ball there to DeQuire.
Yeah,
7-0.
The first one that got intercepted hung on him a little bit. That one did not. That was a perfect in-stride throw to a wide-open receiver.
Looks like they're going to pooch kick it again, and it's brought in at the 15. And he is going to trip over his own feet, it looks like. But they will end up getting started on offense here at about the 25. That was Logan McDaniel on the return. So essentially a touchback.
Yeah, got a little bit too much of a head of steam, and then I think that's one of those times that maybe you feel your balance going, and you say, you know what, I'm getting to the 25, go down. Don't try to keep your balance. Sometimes when your hand goes down, that's when the ball becomes vulnerable.
We will see the Alvarado offense come back out in the almost the power I formation, but they got a fullback in the backfield. We don't see many of those nowadays. It's going to be a toss to Labermeyer, and he gets his feet cut out from under him. That is a really good play. But Darius Fuller for a loss of 2.
Really impressed so far right now with how Waxahachie Life is winning at the line. They are getting in the backfield. They are not letting Labermeyer get up that head of steam he needs to turn those corners, to break those big plays. They're winning up front right now, and now they've thrown them for a 2nd and long.
Alvarado comes out in the I formation. Labermeyer, the man in the backfield, sends a man in motion. Fakes a handoff, fakes a reverse. He's going to roll out to his left. Looking for man, throws across body, and it is incomplete. Good coverage there by Kendall Barnes and Darius Fuller. I feel like we're calling Darius Fuller's name a lot to start the night.
He is all over the place right now. Does a great job of keeping his eyes on the quarterback the whole way and then dropping back at the appropriate time. He sees that he has the help up front, drops back and adds that 2nd level of coverage. That's very tough when a quarterback gets rolling like that, of knowing when do you pursue the quarterback, when do you drop back. He waited for the help, got back. That was a very high IQ play and brings up a 3rd and long, a chance for 2 straight 3-and-outs to get this game started.
And this is where it gets interesting for the Alvarado offense. They are running the shotgun, 3rd and long. We'll see what they decide to do here on 3rd down. Back to pass. Steps out the pocket, complete. Oh, it's dropped by his tight end across the middle. He had his man wide open, and Blake Bledsoe, but it hit him in the chest and just dropped it. Don't know if he had enough for the 1st down, but he was there.
Bledsoe's going to want that one back. He was definitely going to be shy of the 1st down when he caught it, but he would have had a shot. He'd been around 3 yards short. He's a big guy. He would have had a shot to fight his way for that 1st down. And maybe that's why he dropped it. He's sitting there. He knows he's 3 yards short. He's thinking he's going to have to try to go fight for this. When you're thinking ahead, even a half second ahead, that can make you drop it. So a great start so far for the Waxahachie Life defense. 2 straight 3-and-outs.
On the punt is Jackson Pate. He gets it off, end over end, bounces at the 45 and takes another Alvarado bounce. And Waxahachie Life will take it at about the same spot they did their first drive. and take it about the 43-yard line. So again, good field position here for the Mustangs. Got to feel good. 2 3 and outs. Your defense is stepping up. They're going to be fresh. They've only been on the field for 6 plays.
And they're putting Alvarado in a situation they don't want to be in. Alvarado wants to run the ball, but when it's 2nd and 12, you really can't afford to run the ball. If it's 3rd and 12, you definitely can't. So when you lose that first down, on the ground, it really puts you too far behind the chains to stay in your comfort zone. So that's why it's so critical for Waxahachie Life to win those battles in the trenches on first down.
Gramella comes out with 3 bunch to his right. McCoy still in the backfield with him. McCoy made some nice plays there on the first drive, making a couple people miss. Gramella looks to the sideline. Looks like they may be trying to change something up here. Not really any movement on the defense, letting them know what's coming from Alvarado.
And I think that's going to be a delay of game.
Yep. Took a little bit too long there, did the Mustangs. And Coach Stanley is not happy.
Yeah, he's
moving back 5.
And really, Alvarado did a good job. You don't just talk about not moving, but yeah, you're right. They were not flinching, and I feel like Life might have been expecting some movement because of that very bunch formation. They weren't getting it. Alvarado was just sitting there like stones, and it might have just gained him 5 yards.
They will hand it off to McCoy. He makes a cut, cuts it up the middle, gets past the original line of scrimmage, and then down to the 50. And that's how you get that yardage back by McCoy. The first running play we've seen for the Mustangs, and it works out well.
Right here, the offensive line gets a good lead, gets enough of a hole, he weaves through it, and you have men upfield have already blocked. Gets another 3 or 4 yards after initial contact, brings up 2nd and 3.
Mella turns around, hands it off again. Here's McCoy, cuts it to the outside, gets his legs cut from underneath him. Really good tackle there by Brayson Fuller, the junior linebacker. Makes it 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, Fuller's going to come around the corner here. Just does a good job of disrupting, leading with the shoulder into the hip. It's almost impossible to stay up. That's just a good textbook tackle. Big 3rd down here.
Bunch formation here for the Mustangs. 2 on each side. Gramella back to pass, swings it out to the flat. Here's McCoy. He's got a lot of space. Makes a man miss down past the 40. Makes another man miss. Keeps his feet moving, and he's past the 40, almost to the 35. And that's what you do. You got 3rd and 3, you got 3rd and 4, you got your man open in the flat. Get it to your playmaker.
And that is a great play call. Look at this right here. Once McCoy gets the ball, there's nobody within 15 yards of him. He could have walked backwards and still got the first down. That's just a very good play call to spread the defense out and make that happen.
New set of downs here for the Mustangs.
And I think Alvarado's going to call timeout.
We get a whistle. It's going to be a false start.
False start on the offense.
Alvarado with an interesting formation. If you look on the field, the 2 DEs don't go hands to the ground. They stay standing. And I've been racking my brain all week to find out exactly why they'd be doing it. All I can imagine is maybe to combat the spread offense, essentially see that you're not going to get into the backfield and spread out wide. Because whenever you watch them out here, at the moment they got a very interesting formation. Instead of the 4-3, it's only 3 men on the line, 1 man in the center. But the 2 guys on the ends are not going to go hands in the dirt. And that's an interesting, I haven't seen many things like that.
They bring 3. Almost stripped from behind. He's going to say he was down. He was ultimately stripped, but it's going to go for a sack here for Alvarado.
Colby Kuntz, just one of those guys, somebody who doesn't go hands in the dirt. He does get in the backfield, and this is close. Oh, wow, yeah, that ball was about to come loose.
Almost instant pressure there by the Indians defense.
Gramella is lucky he went down when he did. If he'd have stayed up for another half second, that would have been a fumble, and now brings up a 2nd and 15.
2nd and a long 15 here. Here's the empty backfield, 4 to the left for Gramella. He looks back to the sideline looking for a play here.
Life is showing a lot of different looks on offense so far. We've seen trips, we've seen quads, we've seen bunch, we've seen spread.
You have 5 seconds on the play clock. Already took 1 delay game here on this drive. Gramella back to pass, quick hitter to the right, and it's dropped. Had a man wide open on the slant. That was Chris Gillespie, and it was just dropped. It looked like he had a little bit of room to run there. And it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
And that was designed to Gillespie. You put the 4-man out there, you get that quick slant in. The route was good. If he'd have caught it, he would have gotten down to the 35, 33-yard line and bring up a 3rd and manageable. Instead, it's going to be a 3rd and very long. Going to need a big play to keep this drive going as we tick under 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
It's going to be 3rd and 16 here for Gramella and this Mustangs offense. 5 wide empty backfield here for Waxahachie Life, they bring 3, does Alvarado. He throws it down the middle, kind of a wobbler. It's caught by McCoy. He spins, makes a man miss, and he's down at the 20-yard line. Huge play here for the Mustangs as they pick up a first down off the hands of McCoy.
McCoy is having himself a game. Yeah, this is a little bit of a floater thrown off the back foot. It could have been anybody's ball, but McCoy makes a great adjustment to get back to it, and a huge third down conversion as the Mustangs enter the red zone.
Mella back to pass. Looking to the corner. Oh, he throws it, floats it over the middle, and it's intercepted right on the goal line and up past the middle. Just has a man to beat, but he gets tackled by McCoy. Caden Ford with the interception. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication there between Gramella and his receiver. I think he wanted to go to the post route, and he ran the corner.
Yeah, and Gramella starts off looking left, and so I think he saw his receiver moving and just thought he was going to sprint back towards the middle of the field. Yeah, that was just a textbook miscommunication, and that might as well have been a punt return for how easy it was to go under and catch it. So second interception of the game for the Mustangs. This time they don't get the ball back on the same play, and Alvarado's defense has now forced 2 turnovers.
Alvarado, good bend, but don't break defense. They've shown some flashes on the defensive side, but here they are on first down. A little bit of misdirection, and here is their star running back. Runs into the referee, and he's going to end up being tackled for 11. William Labermeyer. You saw the misdirection get Waxahachie Life moving one way, right back up the middle.
Yeah, it feels like Alvarado's already kind of adapting. They send the man out on the flash move to the outside. That gets one man out of the way, and if the ref hadn't been there, he might have gone for a couple more yards.
He had some room to run.
But Labermeyer gets that running room, and once he has a head of steam, you know there's 3 extra yards at the end of the play, even if you make contact with him. So that's why it's so important to trust him in the backfield. Couldn't do it on that play, though. That was a very well-designed play for the Indians.
First and 10 here for Alvarado. Sending a man in motion. A toss to Labermeyer. He's out to the outside, cuts it up the middle. He's got some room to run, bowls over a man, and he has enough for a first down, a gain of 12. That's going to move the chains again. Back-to-back plays for first downs for Alvarado.
And 2 very different looks at the running back position. First time you go straight up the middle, now you do a pitch. So now it's Alvarado who's given Life's defense a little bit more to think about. Not just straight 3 yards in a cloud of dust running, but mixing it up a little bit as Alvarado approaches midfield after the big interception when Life looked to go up 2 scores.
Ball just shy of the 50. Stretch handoff. Here's Labermeyer, cuts it up, tries to cut it to the outside, but that's a good tackle in the secondary. Kendall Barnes.
And again, textbook. Wrap the guy up, get his feet off the ground, win that battle right there. Don't let him get those extra yards after contact, even though still it's 5 yards. So it brings up a 2nd and 5. Labermeyer starting to find his momentum.
We know as well as any, he's tough to stop when he gets his momentum going.
And overall, Life's rushing defense has struggled sometimes this year, so it's going to be a long battle for them all night, keeping Labermeyer from just running roughshod.
Sends a man in motion under center. Takes a snap, he pitches it out to Labermeyer, bobbles it, but he cuts it upfield. He's got enough for a first down again. And this Alvarado offense resting heavily on the back of their senior running back, Will Labermeyer, and he just keeps moving those chains.
Another pitch play, another good job up front from the Indians. They all hit their blocking assignments, found the hole, and Waxahachie Life is starting to have to figure things out a little bit here as Labermeyer has officially gone over 1,000 yards rushing on the season on this drive. After 2 straight 3-and-outs, the Indians are finally starting to move.
They pitch it to him again, and this time he's wrapped up in the backfield. Really good tackle there on the outside by 7. Butler takes him down for a loss.
Butler was in on one of those earlier stops in the backfield. Right there, he sheds his blocker immediately, gets in the backfield, and really that, you're already seeing up front, that is Labermeyer's kryptonite as he gets past the block attempt there from the fullback, Jacob Wall. If you can get him in the backfield before he gets that momentum, there's not a whole lot he can do. And that was a great job by Butler to get there.
They hand it up the middle, tries to make a man miss. He's got those feet moving, keeps going. Gets brought down. It's going to be 3rd and long here. We're going to call it 3rd and about 8.
Sharwan Daniels is hanging on for dear life over the middle. He makes the contact, grabs a hold of the shoe, and is just saying, nope, I'm not letting you run to the end zone with this one. Somebody come help me. It does bring up a 3rd and 8, which is where you want to keep this Indian offense, where that's not as easy to convert on the ground. Maybe get them to go through the air where they're not as strong.
One receiver out wide on each side here for quarterback Wes Connor. 3rd and 8, under center. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Labermeyer. Looking for some blocking. Keeps those feet moving. It's not going to be enough, but you got to think here, 4th and about 2. This is go for it territory.
Absolutely.
Especially with the way Labermeyer has been running this.
Absolutely, yeah. This is not enough at the first down, but he just follows his convoy to get far enough to where they're not even going to blink. In this situation, too far for a field goal. No one in their right mind is going to punt at the 32. 4th and 3, he's definitely averaging over 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Was right on the back of his senior lineman, Bradley Cappers, who was clearing the way like a wrecking ball, making this 4th and very manageable. 2 men in the backfield. He's going to pitch it. Labermeyer cuts it up.
They didn't get it.
He does not get it. That's going to be a turnover on downs. We do get a whistle here. Not sure what the extra whistles were for, but that will be a stop on 4th down.
Yep, the whistles did not come for the play, and just what a stand. Alvarado brought out the pure power formation. Now the referees are discussing. We'll see what the discussion is.
Well, the defense is leaving the field, and the Alvarado defense is taking their place on the field. It looks like, I'm not sure what the, there was a flag thrown. It was right on the sideline. I think it may be a warning, getting too close to the field.
It is an unsportsmanlike. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike, but after the play.
It's a warning. It looks like it's a warning to kind of stay. That's every team needs a stay back coach. I'm sure you've heard of those. The stay back, get off that white line. You can't be on there because the officials are running up and down the sidelines. If they run into one of the players, not only can it cause injury, it takes the referee out of the play. So it's going to be a warning.
Well, this is going to be a 5-yard penalty.
They do give them a 5-yard penalty after the play. So fortunately there for the Mustangs, they do get the possession off the turnover on downs.
And that's a big defensive stand. Labermeyer was finding his footing, and you get that big stop on 4th and around 2.5 for the turnover on downs. Now it's back to the offense.
Hands it off. There's nothing working there, but he stays on his feet. McCoy trying to get to the outside, but a good job by the Alvarado defense to stay with him and bring him down for a loss of 3. Good persistent pursuit there by the Indians defense. There's nothing there at the start. We've seen his athleticism get him to that outside plenty of times. Good job there by Alvarado. That will do it for the first quarter. 7-0, the Mustangs lead. A couple of defensive stops here by both teams. And as you said, it's looking like it could be a defensive game here in Waxahachie.
I mean, right now, if we don't have a fumble after an interception, we're scoreless at the moment. Look at some of the stats. As well, it's not Caden Mayfield throwing right now, but it is Colby Gramilla, who's already gone over 100 yards with a touchdown. He has those 2 picks. One got immediately erased, but not a bad start for him coming out with this start. And then obviously DeQuire had the touchdown catch, 41 yards. Overall, Alvarado with 46 total yards.
All of them on the ground, and all of them on that last drive, essentially, as they got the ball into Mustangs territory.
And the Mustangs, 103 passing yards, -1 rushing yards. So we said it in pregame. The Mustangs do it to the air, the Indians do it on the ground, and they did that to perfection in the first quarter.
They make us look smart, Tim. It feels good.
They do. They didn't do any half measure. This is 100% both ways.
We are ready here for the second quarter, as we have 2nd and 13 here for the Mustangs offense. Carmella, 3 stacked, 3 bunched up wide to his left. McCoy in the backfield. He steps back to pass, quick hitter out to the flats, trying to make a man miss is McCoy, but he cannot make that man miss. Tremendous tackle by Dylan Rodriguez. Set the edge and said, Mr. McCoy, you're not making me miss this time.
Yeah, Rodriguez, we've already seen McCoy make some moves. Rodriguez, look at this. Eyes, never looks at his feet. Keeps his eyes on McCoy's eyes. Doesn't look down, doesn't let him fake him out. He says, your head's going to tell me where you're going to go. Wraps him up, doesn't let him escape either. Had to get him around the shoulders. Throws him for a loss, and now it's a 3rd and 15 for the Mustangs.
Back to passes Gramella. Tries to get out to the flat to his man. That was Trevian Tarrant, and he couldn't get it there. That's going to be 4th and 16 now for the Mustangs.
Tarrant just was not ready for that pass. We've seen Gramella, little miscommunication so far a couple times with the receivers. That's going to happen when you have a backup quarterback in there. He saw him breaking, though, that he made the quick move. He made the move to say, you know what, he's breaking open. If he can get it, he might be able to get that corner for the first down, but couldn't turn around quick enough. And so for the first time, the Mustangs will come out and punt.
Kennedy Hartman on to punt. One of the things you like to see out of your backup quarterback, there's no hesitation. When he gets a snap, he knows where he's going with it.
Yeah, he has not taken well, I guess he might have minorly taken a sack there, but even then he was trying to break loose. So you do like seeing that he's not being patient. And that's a weird thing to say, but a lot of times when you're fresh into a game, back up, making a big start on homecoming, you can overthink things. He's not overthinking things. He is getting out there, he's slinging it. It's led to some mistakes. It's led to a great touchdown pass. And honestly, it's what I'd like to see more if I'm a coach. I'd rather see my backup go make a few mistakes than see him hold on to the ball for 48 minutes and not move your offense. And he's had 2 good drives. He's led 2 good drives so far. So, but for the first time, we see the Indians defense make a big stop, and it's going to be a 3 and out.
Again, on to punt is Kennedy Hartman for the Mustangs. Back to return for Alvarado is going to be Hagan McGee, senior defensive back. First punt here, like you said, for the Mustangs. We have not seen them punt so far tonight through 1 quarter. Here is Hartman. Rolls out to his right, kind of rugby-style kick, but it's a good one. Fair catch called for and brought in at the 45. That's about as good as you can ask for from your punter, backed up that far in your own territory.
That was a very nice punt, especially you really saw Hagan McGee go over to corral that. Then he didn't. That had enough momentum. It could probably roll to the 30-yard line, so he didn't get the advantage of the roll, but not
into the wind as well. The wind's kind of blowing in his face of Hartman.
Yep.
Pretty good punt there.
Yep, not a bad punt. At least gives the defense a little bit of room to work with at their backs. They have 2 3-and-outs and a turnover on down to their name right now.
1st and 10 here for Alvarado at the 46. Going to pitch it. Labermeyer gets it up the middle. Another good carry here on 1st down. Each falls forward. It's going to be a gain of 8 on 1st down. And again, that's what you want on 1st down. Get your offense in position here to make a play on 2nd and short.
And they're just trusting Labermeyer with these pitches. Obviously, as soon as he gets it, he's got 4 spots to choose from. And as long as one guy wins his assignment, he's going to have a spot to run through, and you can trust Labermeyer to get there. Definitely old school football. Some near I formations and pitches. And like you said, I can't remember the last time I saw a high school quarterback go under center.
And now we have out of shotgun rolling out to his left. Makes a man miss, but then brought down by a host of Mustangs. Good job there by Seven Butler to set the edge and not let quarterback West Connor get free. And a good job of Sharwan Daniels to clean it up on the outside.
Yep, it's Butler who gets the initial pressure, and then Daniels comes and finishes it off. Those are 2 names we've already called a couple of times. Butler has been wreaking some havoc in the backfield.
So there we see on 2nd and short, they come out in a passing offense. They had some yardage to work with on 2nd and short. That's where the passing could be deadly for Alvarado. But 3rd and 5 here, they go back under center. Single back in the backfield. They hand it off on the stretch play to Labermeyer. He's just going to get to the outside, cut it back up, and he's got enough for a 1st down. And Alvarado will move the chains here on 3rd down.
And another very good football IQ play here from Labermeyer. He had the choice to take the outside route. This is a choice right here. He can go for the big play, or he knows he has the guaranteed 1st down inside. And he says, you know what, let's just keep the chains moving. I'm cutting inside. Maybe I break it for a touchdown on the outside, or maybe I get tripped up at the 45-yard line. That's just a very smart move to pick up the 1st down. And the Indians keep it moving.
I formation here for Alvarado. They hand it off to the fullback this time. I don't think the Mustangs were expecting it, but getting the carry was Jacob Wall, and he falls forward for about 4 yards there on 1st down. Call it 3 yards on 1st down.
I was watching Labermeyer there. He's running the same pitch run he's been doing. Pretty good reaction time there from Darius Fuller, though, to disrupt that from going for too much more. Both offenses, while you know what they're going to do, the Indians are going to run, the Mustangs are going to throw, they've been putting a lot of different spins on it so far through the 1st quarter and a half.
call it 2nd and 6, 2 out wide here for Connor. Hands it off to Labermeyer, runs into his own man, and that is going to go nowhere as the Mustangs shut that down quickly. Ashton Hill and Xander Holt
He's
on
one,
the stop.
he's one in the middle of it, and he's getting blocked from behind and stays his ground. Wraps up, throws him for a loss. So for Labermeyer, right now it's either a 9-yard gain or a 4-yard loss and not much in between. And really that's the way it's going to be. You win up front and you throw them for a loss, or you lose up front and it's up to your safeties and DBs to try to slow them down.
3rd and 10 here, I formation for Alvarado and the Indians. Sends a man in motion. And he is going to hand it off. Labermeyer up the middle, delayed handoff. He's going to get 4. Good job by Life to shut that one down, and on comes the punting unit here for the Indians.
Yeah, they stayed patient. They stayed patient on that entire play with the delayed handoff. It looked like it could have been a play action trying to throw. Indians probably going for that 2-play attack again. Maybe pick up 6 or 7, go for it on 4th down. But when you win that big, you really can't go for it on 4th and 7. So they'll be punting with a chance to pin Life very deep.
And the punt is off, and it is going to bounce at the 11 and keep rolling, and that is a great punt for Alvarado. It's going to roll back a little bit, but the Mustangs will take over here on their own 5-yard line, and that's what you ask for from a punter.
Special teams so far. These 2 punters have been doing a pretty good job out here. Life, their punter got them out of a tough situation, and now the Indians just put them back into one. So
in a tough, yeah, absolutely.
Backs
Absolutely.
against the wall at their own 5-yard line.
A little under 7.5 left to play here in the first half. The Mustangs up 7-0.
This is where I was saying earlier, Grimella, unleash it. Maybe don't unleash it here. Think about the fact that a mistake is probably 7 points. So be a little conservative
he
here.
Hands it off. Here's McCoy. Huge hole. Breaks it to the outside. Down past the 20. Pushed out of bounds. And that is what you call some breathing room there on 1st down for McCoy.
19-yard gain with the shotgun handoff, and that right there is going to be huge. Absolutely huge, because if you find yourself punting from that situation, you're handing the Indians something big. Right now, you've gotten free of that.
The offensive line doing a great job on that play, blowing that hole open, and McCoy just kind of following his blockers. Not really any decision-making needing to be had on that play. Just go through the hole and huge gain. Going to hand it off to McCoy again. He's going to get stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to actually, he may have lost one. They're going to call it a gain of nothing, but a good stop there by Cesar Reyes. Kind of single-handedly, one-on-one there, wins the battle against McCoy. Sheds the blocker.
Grimella's trying to fake him off with his eyes there, keeping his eyes locked to the outside, but I don't think the Indians were biting. They were locked in on that being a running play.
2nd and 10 here for the Mustangs offense. Grimella with 3 out wide to his left. He's going to hand it off to McCoy again. McCoy bounces it to the outside, and he is met, lowers the shoulder, but is brought down. Good tackle there by Camden Brown, was up to the challenge.
And we've seen McCoy make these moves already. Makes a nice little nifty move to the outside, but we haven't seen this yet. Lowering the shoulder and gaining the extra 2 yards.
6-yard
gain power
gain
move.
Makes it 3rd and 4. It's very manageable here for the Mustangs. Little motion here. They're going to go 4 wide. 2 stacked to his right and 2 to his left. McCoy in the backfield.
This might be McCoy is doing a good job where you spread it out. He has some holes to work with already. You hand it off here.
Grimella drops back. Looking across the middle, has his man. Can he make a man miss? He can. He's going to break it out to the sideline. Past the 40. Down past the 50. Out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That's just a play that developed very well. And then running after the catch was Kendall Barnes, and a huge gain on 3rd down.
And he does a good job. Kendall Barnes had to hitch a little bit to get back to it, but didn't make him stop dead in his tracks. Let him just enough to where there was no chance for Alvarado to stop him before he got the 1st down. And now they are in Alvarado territory as we tick towards 5 minutes remaining in the half.
You used a word earlier, patience. We didn't see patience from Grimella. He hasn't had to. He's just made his first read, has made the throw. But on 3rd and 4, needed to pick up a first down. Went through his progressions and saw that drag route wide open.
Yeah.
And it turned into a big play.
Yeah.
So a good job there by the backup.
Yeah, he read that play perfectly.
There's Grimella, steps up in the pocket. He's going to unleash it deep, looking for his man again. Can he get there? He cannot. Had some room to drop the ball in there on a dime to Kendall Barnes, and just out of the reach of the senior wide receiver. Not a bad ball there by Grimella, under pressure.
Yeah, he had plenty of time, but by the end, he finally had to unleash it when he was getting hit. If he hadn't been hit, I think he might have laid that in a little bit better, and I think Barnes is able to hang on to that.
I like the shot, though, on 1st down.
Yep, go deep, although we have a penalty here now.
Moving back.
Didn't catch the call,
The
but
Mustangs. It's going to be a 10-yard.
holding on 1st down.
So it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Wouldn't have mattered anyway. That's one of those times you actually aren't even mad you didn't convert it. You'd be madder if you caught it and then you had to erase it.
I'll tell you, that was a really late call. I did not even see the flag come out.
Yeah, I was thinking a post-play penalty at that point.
1st and 20 now here for the Mustangs. Back to pass. Gets it across the middle, finds his man, makes a cut upfield, down past the 45. Grimella finds Darius Fuller, who gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to call it 2nd and 11 here.
Grimella's doing a good job of getting these crossing routes and hitting his receivers in stride. You can't make them stop in the middle of the route or it's almost useless, and he's doing a good job of leading them.
McCoy's going to take the handoff, cuts it up, a hurdle, keeps those feet moving, out of bounds. And then flag comes in. He was hit late.
And another flag. And we got a hat.
We got a hat and 2 flags, so we'll see what they decide to do here.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to sort out here. But before it, McCoy with the hurdle, with the juke, and then carrying the man the extra yardage.
A couple good blocks there by his linemen. Put a couple guys on their backs, and McCoy with a nice little hurdle.
We'll see if we can see what happens after the play here. Yeah, definitely
a late hit. Let's see if there was.
And then, and I think McCoy is going to get flagged for throwing the ball potentially. It looks like it's definitely a late hit, and the McCoy kind of throws the ball in frustration. So these may be offsetting.
Dead ball. Yep, it's going to be 2 dead ball personal fouls that's going to be offsetting.
And I get it if you're McCoy, you just got hit out of bounds, but it's one of the times if you can just grit your teeth and get through it, you get the ball to the 17-yard line now or 19-yard line. So that's one of those times you just need to grit it. So offsetting penalties either way, a huge carry right there to set up now a 3rd and short.
It's something
2nd down. 2nd short.
And something we didn't see there coming off the field injured was Blake Gillespie, one of their starting offensive linemen. That could be a big blow as they've been really good all night long. It is 3rd and
It is 3rd down.
3rd down.
I was watching the little ticker down there on the field, and I said, I feel like it's going to be 3rd down. I'm Tom Brady now. I don't know what down it is.
3rd and 2 now here for the Mustangs. New man in the backfield is Kendrick Green.
Yeah, McCoy's. I think they're going to let him cool off for a second after that right there.
Smart play. Green takes the handoff. He's wrapped up quickly. Really good play there by Cesar Reyes. We've seen him make a couple of really good plays on the interior defensive line, and there's another one, and it makes it 4th down. It actually drops him for a loss of 1.
Yeah, he's getting blocked, but it just comes in, wraps the guy up. I wouldn't love seeing Reyes coming at me that fast either.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's why I'm glad I'm up here in the stands, not down there.
This is a points play right here.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out, has a man in the flat. He finds him, and he gets past that 1st down marker. Chris Gillespie, really good play there. Good design. Bit on the play action, did the Alvarado defense, and just rolling out, and that's just an easy pitch and catch there.
Yeah, and Grimella, you mentioned earlier, we were talking about the lack of patience earlier, which we were kind of approving of, but this drive, he waited. He waited to make sure he had his footing right. He waited to make sure that the angle was right. Picks up a huge 4th down conversion, moves the chains down to the 32-yard line. Mustangs trying to go up by 2 scores before the half.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the 2nd quarter. Grimella, new set of downs. He's back to pass, quick hitter to the outside, finds his man, can he make a man miss? He throws a stiff arm and gets driven out of bounds. Found his man on the outside, Darius Fuller. He just kind of fights his way over for 4 yards, making it 2nd and 7. Or 2nd and 6, rather.
Life School homecoming court at the North
Kason
End.
Rogers tried to hold his block there, just couldn't. If he could have held on a little bit longer, probably would have sprung him for a few more yards than they got. As it is, though, they do pick up 3 or 4.
Out to the outside. Can he make a man miss? He cannot, and that's going to be a gain of 0. No yardage there. He found his man, Kason Rogers. Fake the handoff. Maybe a little bit of an RPO there.
And it's Colby Kuntz coming in and getting the tackle. You don't see many situations where your DE is going to get a tackle on a wide receiver. So that's a great recovery by Kuntz to turn back around and make that play.
It's going to be 3rd and 7 here for the Mustangs.
This drive started at the 5-yard line, remember.
Very good drive
This has
here.
been a march. No matter what happens, this has been an absolute march by Grimella and the Mustangs offense.
Back to pass is Grimella. Gets it to the flat. He finds McCoy. McCoy is wide open. Down past 20. Down past the 10. Out of bounds and then brought down late. No flags, but he has got the ball inside the 5-yard line. And there it is again. We see Grimella just get the ball to the flat, get it in your playmaker's hands, and let him run with it.
And leading the receiver, too. McCoy is able to, in stride, just put his hands out there, let it fall in, never break momentum, gets down to right around the 4-yard line. It looks they're going to finally rule it.
And this is a really good timeout by head coach Kenneth Estes for Alvarado. His defense has got to be gassed. There's 2.5 minutes left in this first half, and you are potentially about to be down 2 scores. You got to get them something here. Maybe get a little extra energy, extra oomph here to get a goal line stand.
Because at the moment, like you said, this drive has now gone 91 yards. A 91-yard drive. You've been out there the whole time, as Alvarado has now given up 176 passing yards on the night. And Grimella, it feels like we've watched a half season's worth of quarterback development in a quarter and a half.
He has, absolutely. He's made his progressions really well, made adjustments in this first half.
I mean, crucial 4th down conversion, big 3rd and 7 conversion there. He's making the plays when he needs to. Really impressed by him so far tonight. And now, like I said, he's got a chance to put his team up 2 scores just before the half. When this started on the 5-yard line in the game in which the defenses had been excelling.
Grimella 1st and goal. Maybe saw a little bit of a flinch there on defense. They look like they could be bringing pressure here from that linebacker position. We'll see here from the Indians. Grimella takes a snap, hands it off to McCoy. McCoy up the middle, lowers the shoulder, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs. And barring an extra point, they will be up 2 scores, 14-0 here in the first half with 2.5 left to play in the second quarter.
And that is a big, big finishing move by McCoy. I mean, he's already shown so many athletic abilities tonight, essentially going over the top, hurdling into the end zone. Couldn't have picked a better way to end that drive with McCoy making so many big plays along the way.
Extra point is up, and it is good. 14-0. Life leads this game in Alvarado's offense, who we have not seen in quite a while. As you said, that was a 95-yard drive that went just about 6 minutes.
Yeah,
took off the clock. It was about 8:30 left to go when they took over on offense. You got to be thrilled with that drive.
If you can evaporate a half a quarter on a drive like that against a team who wants to beat you on the ground and go up 14-0, Mustangs have got to be very happy with where they are right now.
There you see the current yardage for the Mustangs offense. 205 yards. We said it. Neither one of these teams was averaging 300 yards of offense per game coming into tonight, and Waxahachie Life, they already got 205.
Well, when you drop 100 on one drive, and the truth is they are going to get over 100 yards of total offense on that drive because they had a couple of penalties along the way.
Yep.
So that, I mean, when you get over a third of what you usually get in the game on one drive, you know something's working. And right now, I mean, if you take away that interception, Life has just been dominating at this point. Now you start looking at the game in that way. So big 2.5 minutes for the Indians. They're going to fair catch it to 25.
Smart play. You don't want to have any silly business there on the kickoff. Just bring it in. They're at 37. Good call for the fair catch by Carter Thomas. And essentially just a touchback here for Alvarado.
Alvarado will take over.
And this is crucial for Alvarado now because you don't get the ball to start the second half. Waxahachie Life is going to get that possession to start the second half, so you really want to go down the field and get something. Get that 0 off the board. That's so big for your mentality. You're a long ways from out of this game, but if you can't stop Waxahachie Life's defense, on their offense, and you don't get the ball, who knows when you'll see the ball again at this point.
We see Alvarado come out in the shotgun. They try to get it to the flat and off the hands of his fullback who was running that flat pattern. That's going to be up 2nd and 10, and that's, again, something we haven't seen a lot of tonight is Alvarado coming out in the shotgun offense, or shotgun formation rather. But they have to try to get something here. They got to try to get some offense going. If you're a run-first team, being down 14-0 is not where you want to find yourself because all of a sudden you're uncomfortable. You're not really sure what to do on offense. So we'll see how they decide to end the half here. They will go back under center, single back in the backfield with Connor. That is Labermeyer. Another misdirection. Labermeyer to the left. Carries the pile and keeps those feet moving. No whistle yet. He has not gone down. That is a tough run by Labermeyer. He makes it 3rd and short.
That is a 9-yard run, and pretty much the last 5 yards of it were him and everybody else. And that's been the struggle so far for Alvarado is you get those 9-yard runs from Labermeyer, but then you get disrupted in the backfield. They can't get the consistent results they need on the ground.
They hand it off to Labermeyer. He's got a lot of room to work with. Cuts it to the outside. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle. Has it down past the 50. Labermeyer moves the chains and is finally brought down in the secondary by Clinton Reese. And that's what you want to see if that run-first offense. A lot of green there for Labermeyer.
He's just a different back once he has the momentum. He sees all of a sudden you see his agility. You see his ability to stay up. If they can win the up-front battles, he will take over this game.
Here's Labermeyer on the stretch. Breaks the tackle, gets it up, pass down almost to the 40-yard line. But a good carry there on 1st down, and it will be a timeout by Alvarado as the clock was going to continue to tick. 1 timeout left for the Indians, 2 left for the Mustangs.
Just is able to glance off Brent Arnold coming in there trying to make the tackle. Shakes him off at the shoulders, pick up that extra yardage. And yeah, this feels like one of those crucial turning points in a game. Ball at the 42-yard line. If you're Waxahachie Life, if you can get another stop, you go into the locker room just fired up. Couldn't be happy with how the half has gone. If you're Alvarado and you're able to get the touchdown here, any sort of points here, you walk in and say, all right, whole new half coming up. Let's shake off what happened. Let's go out there, force a few more turnovers, keep the ground attack going. Plus, it keeps the ground attack in play. If you don't score here and the next time you get the ball, you're down even 17-0, that just changes everything. There's only 24 minutes in the half.
Yep.
So if you're down 17-0 and you're looking then at 19 minutes left in the half, I mean, at that point you're almost forced to abandon your game plan. So this is a big 87 seconds remaining with 42 yards to go.
They come out single man in the backfield under center is West Connor. Sends a man in motion. Takes a snap, hands it off to Labermeyer. Labermeyer met in the backfield, but he breaks the tackle, lowers the shoulder. Does he have enough for the 1st down? It looks like he does. That will move the chains and stop the clock here as they get set. So a big 1st down there here for Alvarado as they are moving here on offense.
And he was met in the backfield. That's one of the few times he's been able to really shed that tackler in the backfield.
And they spike it, and that will stop the clock and bring up 2nd and 10.
Still a long ways from field goal range, so they definitely need to pick up at least a few more yards. And again, you're thinking touchdown here. You know, like I said, you want to get some points no matter what, but if it's still a 2-score game, you have to deal with all those same factors we were talking about.
There is a little bit of wind, not a ton of wind at the back of Alvarado, so they have it going in their favor. Like you said, definitely not in field goal range yet, and you do want a touchdown.
And I feel like that's the kind of wind that doesn't help the ball enough more than it hurts it. It can make it go left or right more than it powers it forward. That's going to be a penalty.
Yep, back to pass, but it is a false start here against Alvarado, and they are heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah, Ty Ford took off from the blocks a little bit early right there. If he was sprinting, they just brought him back to the line and done it all over again. But in football, they make you walk back 5 yards for that. That doesn't seem fair.
2nd and 15 now for Alvarado. Backs the ball up back to the 42-yard line.
And again, now out of their comfort zone, especially with only one timeout remaining and the clock not in your favor.
Fakes the handoff. He's rolling out to his left, looking for a man. He's going to go take a shot deep. He has somebody. Brings it in. Down past the 20. A huge play for Alvarado as they've got the ball inside the red zone. He put it on a dime for his man down the sideline, Ty Ford.
And Darren Jackson has got pretty good coverage here. He closes the gap, comes in, and just a very well-placed ball. I think that might be their first completed pass of the game, and it is a huge one.
They hand it off to Labermeyer. He's brought down in the backfield. Really good tackle there at the initial line of scrimmage by Xander Holt. And that's going to force Alvarado to use their last, use their last timeout, but it looks like, they did end up using the timeout.
Holt just shifts in, is unchecked, gets the hand around the waist, throws Labermeyer for a 2-yard loss. Actually closer to 3-yard loss, so a big play there, especially now out of timeouts. Power move from Holt after the big pass to really, again, break the stalemate that they were stuck in because they haven't been able to get anything through the air. So that's such a huge thing, especially going in the second half. You got to prove you can do it before you make Waxahachie Life respect it. So now that you've proven a little bit that you can go two-dimensional on offense.
Coming out of the timeout, it will be 2nd and 12, a long 12 here for Alvarado. Under a minute to play in the half. You have to want to get points here if you are the Indians, as they do not have possession after halftime. They come out in a single back with the fullback kind of lining up in the tight end position. Fakes a handoff, rolling out to his left, has a man in the flats. He finds him, lowers the shoulder and falls forward. Doesn't quite have enough for a first down, so they've got to move here. He found his tight end out in the flats.
That was a good play by Connor. Clock is moving. It is 3rd down. And Waxahachie Life's going to call a timeout.
Interesting strategy there, because if they come out and spike it, it's 4th down.
And that's what happens when you run a lot. Everybody bit that play action.
Found his tight end, Blake Bledsoe. Almost had enough for the first down. It will be 3rd and call it a short 2.
Yeah, 3rd and right in that 1.5, 2 range. And Life, maybe they're just thinking there that they want to get their lungs back underneath them, but I mean, that is a big break in a way for Alvarado to get that clock stoppage and drop a play now. They were having to rush to the line. They couldn't spike it because then it's 4th down.
Yep.
So now this gives them a lot more to think about. And definitely, honestly, I think it is 4-down territory here, no matter what. Although if you run and you don't get it, then you're going to have to hurry to the line to get another play off.
You're in trouble because, no timeouts left for Alvarado. So
power formation.
Yeah, 3rd and 1, 2 men in the backfield. One of them looks like big number 33 in the game, Dalton Holt. Rolls out to his left, look into the back of the end zone, is tipped, but caught for a touchdown. Alvarado gets on the board by the touchdown reception by Josiah Ponce.
And Sharwan Daniels reads this and gets a hand on it, almost disrupts everything as they make that play action rollout work again. A little floater here, and Daniels is gonna
he did get a hand on it.
He got a hand on it, and if it could have been any more contact, he's swatting that to the ground and bringing up 4th down. As it is a huge drive for the Indians here in the waning moments of the half.
The extra point is up, and it is good. So it will be 14-7, and Alvarado gets a much-needed touchdown to avoid being shut out here in the first half and get the score. Only down 1 possession. That is a huge touchdown for the Indians.
A couple things about that drive. First of all, most important thing is the points. Second, you did some stuff through the air. You finally made them bite, and oh man, that just, 9 times out of 10, that is an amazing defensive play. And
Really
instead,
good concentration, though.
Oh.
on punt.
Oh, great job to keep, because he's going to the right side of the end zone. He gets batted. He's going to have to cut back inside. Look how much air he's getting.
Change the trajectory, change the spiral.
And his hands just shoot out and
Just
catch it.
Right there. That's a tough break for the Mustangs, but a really good drive there by Alvarado.
Absolutely a really good drive to, like I said, not only cut the lead back to 1 score going into the half, but showing some flashes of a 2-pronged offense.
And you go back to the timeout that the Mustangs took. That gave Alvarado time to draw up that play. If they ran, the clock was moving on 3rd down. They don't have time to draw that play up.
And that was a very, very well drawn up play because you had 2 tight ends on the left side of the end zone. You had 1 down short and 1 up long. He goes for the guy up top, which was definitely the right move. Almost was an amazing defensive play. And now Life will return a kick for the first time. Nobody back deep for the Mustangs.
Kind of a reset there by Alvarado. And the kick is off, and it is over the head of everybody. Going back, he's got to pick it up. He does. Fields it at about his own 5-yard line. Trying to make some men miss. Gets it past the 20. And that's where he will be met and brought down with under 20 seconds left to go here in the first half. Chris Gillespie trying to make something happen. A splash play in special teams.
And Mustangs probably about to come out here and just salt away what's left of the half. No reason to risk anything here. You do still have the lead. You love what you saw from your offense on the last drive. Head into the locker room, up by a score, getting the ball first. Mustangs still got to really like where they are, but the Indians have definitely made this a ball game with just a 2-minute drive there. Again, they had to get out of their comfort zone. They couldn't run the whole way down the field. Some big conversions. And yeah, we have a good one here tonight in Waxahachie.
And it looks like they will just kneel it out to end the half. Up 1 score, 14-7. And there it is, the kneel down. So that will do it for the first half, as Alvarado has no timeouts, and there's no reason for the Mustangs to take a timeout. As time expires here in the second quarter, again, the Mustangs had a 14-0 lead, and then a really good, resilient drive by Alvarado. They did it through the air as well as the rushing attack there on that last drive, and it got them that touchdown that they desperately needed to bring it back to 1 score, and that's where we stand here in the first half. At the end of the first half, 14-7. Don't go anywhere. Another action-packed second half coming your way right after this message from our Champion Sports Network sponsor, Southwestern Assemblies of God University, also known as SAGU.
Crystal Street Planets, James Horner's score to Apollo 13, and Michael Giacchino's main title from Star Trek Into Darkness. Sit back and enjoy a ride around the universe with Alvarado's award-winning Golden Warrior Band. The band this evening is led by Senior Drum Major Emily Brinley and Junior Drum Major Megan Cole. Drum Captain is Tyler Goulding. Color Guard officers include Senior Head Captain Emily Gear, Senior Captain Marissa Jackson, Senior Captain Kaylee Norrid, Senior Manager Mia Andruski, and Junior Lieutenant Jessica Yeager. Color Guard member of the week is Brianna Ryan. Thank you, Life Waxahachie, for your hospitality, and we welcome you to enjoy the Alvarado High School Golden Warrior Band. right, Indian fans, on your feet, because it's time for your Alvarado fight song. Directors of the Golden Warrior Band are Patrick Dietz, John Rindham, Dr. Estelle Murr, Kelly Wilson, Miriam White, Danielle Fisher, Jim Alexander, and Valerie Smith. Principal is Chris McGee. Superintendent, Dr. Kenneth Estes. Board of Trustees President, Tom Head. Special thanks once again to the Alvarado ISD administration for their special effort to accommodate safe travel for all of our scholar performers. And as always, to the Alvarado Band Boosters for their care and service to all of our Golden Warrior Band scholars. Go Indians!
Good evening and welcome to the 2020-2021 Homecoming Court festivities at Life High School, Waxahachie. At this time, please direct your attention to the field as we announce the Homecoming Court nominated and elected by the student body for this year. Thank you to members of Student Council and the cheerleaders for helping to hand out court sashes and flowers. Our freshman Lord is Xavier Forge. Xavier loves playing sports and being active, playing both basketball and football. His favorite subject is science, math. Outside of school, he likes to be active and always help people. Tonight, Xavier is being walked by his mother, Ashley Forge. Our freshman lady is Ari Gibson. Ari Gibson is an A honor roll student and cheerleader at Life High School Waxahachie. In her spare time, she likes to play volleyball and spend time with her family. One day she would like to be a lawyer and go to an Ivy League college. She is also on the student council and was voted most likely in her class to be president. Tonight, Ari is being walked by her father, Andre Gibson. Our sophomore Duke is Micah Jones. Micah plays baseball and is also engaged in marching band for the school. In his free time, he loves to play video games, work out, shop, and most importantly, spend time with his family. Micah has been going to live school since 3rd grade. He wants to thank his fellow students and family for all of the support. Tonight, Micah is being walked by his mother, Vaughn Williams. Our sophomore Duchess is Virginia Dykes. Virginia is a second-year varsity cheerleader and has been cheering since the 7th grade. She has been dancing competitively since age 9, including the opportunity to perform at Disney World. She is a dual credit student and finished freshman year ranked 10th in her class. Tonight, Virginia is being walked by her father, Brandon Dykes. Our junior Duke is Devin Dalloway. Devin Dandy Dalloway was born on May 6, 2004. He was raised in Highland Hills, Texas. Devin has been active in sports since he was young. His biggest supporters are his mother, Nigina Holmes, sister, Daslin Dalloway, his nana, Karen Redden. In Devin's spare time, he likes to spend time with animals, play video games, and work out. Devin loves to encourage others and he inspires all that he comes in contact with. His future aspirations are to continue playing football and then obtain a full scholarship to get a degree in kinesiology. He would like to thank everyone who voted for him. Tonight, Devin is being watched by his mother, Nigina Holmes. Our junior Duchess is Amber Scott. Amber Denise Scott was born in Dallas, Texas to her parents, Alfonso and Brenda Scott. She is the sister of Aaliyah. Amber is an honor roll student, a member of the National Honor Society, a varsity cheerleader, and a member of the Gifted Association. She serves as an active member at her church. When not busy with school or church, she operates her own business called Chat It Up that empowers youth through ministering the Word of God. Upon graduating from high school, Amber aspires to attend the University of Texas at Austin to major in computer science. She would like to thank everyone who voted for her. Tonight, Amber is being walked by her father, Alfonso Scott. Our first senior nominee for King is Elijah Berry. Elijah has been attending life school since the 3rd grade. He plays football and baseball and is considered to be one of the very best athletes on the field. He enjoys his family and he knows that they are very supportive of him and will always be there for him. He has a great group of friends and he looks at some of them like his own family. His hobbies are playing video games and watching Netflix. He plans on majoring in computer science. He wants to thank everyone that voted for him. Tonight, Elijah is being walked by his mother, Shay Berry. Our first senior nominee for Queen is McKenna McElmore. McKenna has been at Life School since 3rd grade and is involved in theater, cheer, and National Honor Society. She and some friends started the Walk the Talk Bible study last year and she loves being a part of it. She spends Sunday mornings volunteering in her church's children's ministry and Wednesday nights at her youth group. In her spare time, she drinks lots of coffee, reads her favorite books over and over, and binges 80s and 90s movies. Tonight, McKenna is being walked by her father, Brian McElmore. Next, we have senior nominee for King, Robert Brooks. A lot of you know Robert as Mikey the Mustang or Mr. Daily Rhyme, but tonight he just comes as Robert. Robert has had a very interesting life school career. He has been attending life school since kindergarten and has never thought of leaving. Life school has taught Robert to become a mature leader and a role model to others. Robert's overall mission is to spread the love, treat everyone with the utmost respect, and always keep God first in everything he does. His final remarks to everyone in the series tonight to remember that, quote, Tonight, Robert is being walked by his granny, Briannette Brooks. Our next nominee for Queen is Rebecca De La Source. Rebecca has been attending high school since kindergarten. She is a co-captain of the volleyball team, student council secretary, and a National Honor Society member. She is a part of the church's youth group, Oaks Youth, and enjoys volunteering at her church on Sundays. She is very blessed with the people in her life and thankful for the love and support she receives from her friends and family on a daily basis. She plans to attend college and is excited to see what God has in store for the next chapter of her life. Tonight, Rebecca is being walked by her father, Leroy De La Source. Our final nominee for King is Christopher Gillespie. Christopher Gillespie Jr. is 17 years old, born and raised in DeSoto, Texas. His parents are Christopher and Molly Gillespie. He has attended life school since the 7th grade. Christopher's favorite subject is history. He plays football and also runs track and field. Chris has been on the varsity football team since sophomore year. He plans to attend college, but is undecided where to go at this time. Chris is very admired by his classmates and many staff members at Life High School Waxahachie. Tonight, Christopher is being walked by his sister, Gabrielle Gillespie. Our final nominee for Queen is Nyla Jordan. Nyla LaToya Jordan has established ambition and humility while at Life School since 2016. A resident of DeSoto, Texas, and native of Mobile, Alabama, Nyla has a passion for helping others reach their highest potential. Nyla's commitment to track and field began in Arkansas, and she has since grown at Life School. The track and field leadership here have led her to a championship for districts, regionals, and area in 2019. In addition to her love for track, Nyla's art talent has also landed on Arkansas Children's Hospital's Creativity Room displays. Her ambition and creativity will go far and continue to help her as she looks towards a future as a successful salon owner. Nyla's future endeavors include competing Hospitality and a Bachelor of Business Administration college degree. Tonight, Nyla is being walked by her aunt, Alicia Turner. How about another round of applause for our homecoming court? Crowning our team tonight is our new Life High School Waxahachie principal, Candace Johnson. Can I have a drum roll, please? Now the moment you've all been waiting for. The 2021 Life School Homecoming King is Robert Brooks. And now, the 2021 Life School Homecoming Queen is Nyla Jordan. Congratulations to our 2021 Homecoming Court, and thank you to all the fans, family, and staff that made tonight possible. Thanks again for all of your support, and go Mustangs!
Welcome back to the Champion Sports Network. I hope you enjoyed the halftime homecoming festivities. Congratulations to all of the nominees and, of course, the 2021 Homecoming King and Queen here at Waxahachie Life, home of the Mustangs, who hold on to a 14-7 lead here at halftime, and they will be getting the ball back here as they deferred at the initial coin toss. So we will see if they can put some more points on the board. Hopefully, if you are a Mustangs fan, go back up by 2 possessions as Alvarado was able to march down the field with some interesting offense that we saw by this run-first team. Put some points on the board, Tim.
Yeah, you look at these halftime stats, 58 passing yards for the Indians. Those all came on the final drive, pretty much all of them on the closing plays. Obviously, Waxahachie Life does a good job getting up to 176 yards passing. It feels like a lifetime ago, but the last time they truly had the ball, they went 95 yards for a touchdown. So they're really starting to click. We've seen the backup quarterback really just emerge in this game and take over on that last drive, Colby Gramella. Some more stats here. William Labermeyer, 87 yards rushing, not a surprise there. Wes Conner, 6 for 6 with 58 passing. He's not 6 for 6, but he's has 6 completions for 58 passing yards, and of course that crucial touchdown at the end of the half for Alvarado. So yeah, I mean, we have a ball game.
Yes,
we got a very real ball
Absolutely.
game. and both teams are leaning on their strengths. While you see Gramella there with 176 yards passing and a touchdown, McCoy has been the playmaker, though. He had the touchdown run. He's had a couple of big runs, had a couple of big catches. So Detrion McCoy has just been a crucial part of this Mustangs offense. I don't see that changing going in the second half. Both teams have already shown so many different looks, especially with Alvarado establishing the pass. Well, I was talking about establishing the run. They had to establish the pass late in the first half to cut the score back to a one-possession game.
Well, we see the teams coming out here to take their respective sidelines as we prepare for the second half coming your way. Again, with the Mustangs holding on to a one-possession lead, 14-7, as they will be receiving the second half kickoff from the Alvarado Indians.
And recapping the first half, if you are joining us late, Alvarado started off with a 3-and-out. Waxahachie took over, threw an interception, but then had a strip fumble on the exact same play, took back over and scored on a 41-yard touchdown pass. Another 3-and-out for Alvarado. Then Waxahachie was driving again inside the red zone, but threw another interception, this time no fumble. A turnover on downs followed for Alvarado, and they were pushing deep into Waxahachie Life territory at that point, so it was a big stand for the Mustangs. A 3-and-out for Waxahachie Life, a punt for Alvarado, pinning Waxahachie Life at their 5 with that monster 95-yard touchdown drive following that. And then, of course, the big, almost not, you might talk about it later, being a game-saving touchdown drive for Alvarado, going down the field, getting that score with just around 30 seconds left in the first half. And then, of course, Waxahachie Life just knelt down to end the half. So that's where we stand right now as the teams retake the field. 14-7, 24 minutes to play. Homecoming Friday here in Waxahachie. Couldn't ask for much more.
It sure would feel good if the Mustangs can hold on to this lead and walk away with a win after a disappointing week last week against La Vega. Up 14-7 here in a conference game, homecoming night. This win is important for this Mustangs team.
Notch your second win on the year and move back to 500 in conference play. A lot up for grabs in the next 24 minutes.
And we are off here in half number 2. The kick fielded, fair caught, called for and brought in by Kason Rogers. And the Mustangs will take over on offense right around their own 30-yard line. I think they're going to call it the 29. And that is where backup quarterback turned starting quarterback Colby Gramella will take over on offense. Showed flashes of greatness in that first half, both in the quick passing game, and then we saw him develop as a patient passer in the last couple of drives. So interested to see what he will do here on this first drive in the second half.
Yeah, he was gunslinging, going deep early on, got a touchdown out of it, but also had a couple of picks. Then came out, especially on that 95-yard drive, going through his progressions, hitting the guys on the fly screens, hitting the crossing patterns over the middle, he's been hitting receivers in stride. That's what I love about him so far. He's been giving the receivers that momentum.
Gramella hands it off to McCoy. McCoy's got room up the middle. Big hole, lowers the shoulder, carries a man down past the 50, moving the pile, and that is a huge play on first down. They will call him down at the 49-yard line of Alvarado, and that's how you want to get started here in the second half if you're the Mustangs.
McCoy, we've seen him dip and dive, but we've also seen him lower this shoulder a couple of times. He's going to lower it at the 45-yard line and pick up 7 yards after contact. What a push by McCoy.
Gramella hands it off to McCoy. McCoy patient running behind his blockers. He's going to have enough for a first down again. As Detrion McCoy moving the chains twice on back-to-back plays, and they are starting strong here on this first drive in the third quarter.
And he's not a big guy either, but this is just pure power. Again, makes the initial contact to the 47-yard line and takes the ball another 10 yards almost afterwards. So many yards after the initial contact for McCoy. He can make you miss, and if you hit him, he just keeps going anyways. I mean, he is flashing tonight.
Back to pass, rolling out to his right now. He flicks it and finds his man in the flats, makes a man miss, and is brought down just shy of the first down. Good job there by Gramella. Finds his man under pressure in Kendall Barnes.
Yeah, he is about to get wrapped up here. Throws it kind of sidearmed off his back foot, but had a lot of good velocity on that pass to pick up 8 yards. Waxahachie Life is clicking here early on in the second half.
That is a tough play, but he made it look a little easy there on first down. We have second and short. Bunch formation. Gramella is going to hand it off. McCoy, why not? Cuts and gets enough for the first down. Is brought down by big number 99, Cesar Reyes. And that will move the chains again here for the Mustangs.
Nice little bit of a delayed handoff, and by the time he gets it, I mean, just everybody is out of the way. There wasn't a hole there. There was just the field. That's all that was left for him to go up the middle and get the easy first down.
New set of downs here for the Mustangs. Gramella takes a snap, hands it off to McCoy again. McCoy trying to bounce it outside, and he cannot. Great tackle there by Brayson Fuller, the junior linebacker, in the open field, taking the legs away from Detrian McCoy. That's a good tackle.
Yeah, he just splits the gaps and is able to bounce off the stiff arm, hang on to the foot. Big 4-yard loss to throw it for a 2nd and 14.
Same bunch formation here for Gramella. Looks to the sideline to get a play. 15 on the play clock. He takes a snap. He's back to pass. They bring 3. Steps up, rolls out to his right. Looking to try to find somebody. He can't find anybody. He's going to throw it away out of bounds. That's a good play by Gramella. Didn't try to do too much. Had enough field to try to make something work, and when nothing was there, just kind of chucked it out of bounds.
And this is a pretty good job of pressure. He could never set his feet. Kason Rogers, you can't see it here, he was wide open down the field, but Alvarado did a good job of keeping that pressure up front so that Gramella could never plant his feet and unleash it. If he'd have let it loft, it could have been an interception. So that was good, steady pressure up front. As you look downfield here, you'll probably see him just across the screen there. You'll see Kason Rogers was very open.
Back to pass, Gramella going across the middle, and it's almost intercepted in and out of the hands of Caden Ford, who almost had his 2nd interception of the game. That'll bring up 4th and 14 here for the Mustangs in an interesting situation here.
Very interesting situation. This is where you might go for it just because I don't know how much confidence you have of kicking that 27-yard punt. You definitely don't feel good about what would be a 40-yard field goal plus. So you're just going to go for it here, hope for the big play, maybe try to draw a defensive penalty. Again, this is that total maroon zone situation where you got to kind of go for it no matter what the yardage is on 4th down.
Mella hands it off. They run a reverse, has to try to get it off, and this play was busted from the beginning, trying to make a man miss, and he cannot, and he is brought down. A good job of staying home there by the Indians, and ultimately brought down by Blake Bledsoe.
Yeah, going for a little razzle-dazzle here, and they never got past the Raz.
Nothing there. The reverse went to Chris Gillespie.
Yeah, hauled down, and I get what you're trying to do there. You know, you feel like maybe just you're already going for it on 4th and 14. You know you're Roger Slim. You try something crazy, but for Alvarado, what it does is throws it for a 6-yard loss and increases your field position. So a turnover on downs to start the half.
Gillespie running for his life there in the backfield. They just had to try to get something going there, and that something has given Alvarado pretty good field position here. The handoff up the middle, and just like that first half, hard-nosed running by Will Labermeyer gets enough just shy of the first down. They're going to call it 2nd and 1 here on the gain of 9 by Labermeyer.
Don't let him plant his foot. I love how he protects the ball. Just 2 hands on it, using his shoulders to maneuver through. It's going to be hard to punch anything loose when he's running.
2nd and short here for the Alvarado offense. The Mustangs stacking the box. Looks like they're bringing pressure.
Yeah, daring them to run.
And they go and throw it, and it's a great catch. It was behind his receiver, but he's got the reception for a first down. That's Ty Ford. Reached back and brought the pass in. That's a good adjustment.
Yeah, Connor knew he had to get rid of it quickly, and he just kind of threw it to a spot. And like you said, great effort by the tight end to get back around, corral it for the first down. The Mustangs were essentially saying, we dare you to throw it here, and
they did.
The Indians made it work. It wasn't pretty, but they made it work.
1st and 10, here's Labermeyer. The pitch takes it to the outside, cuts it back up, and is brought down. Again, a good gain there on first down of 6, and is brought down by Darius Fuller.
Yeah, good pursuit by Fuller to follow it from behind. He comes in almost, we just mentioned how when he runs up the middle, Fullermeyer is going to protect that ball with both hands, but once you get to the outside, it gets a little more vulnerable. And Fuller was going for the punch out there.
Saw him do it once today on that interception. He forced the fumble to give the Mustangs the ball back, which led to their first touchdown. It will be 2nd and 4 here for the Indians. The handoff, Labermeyer right up the middle, and he puts his head down, gets enough for the first down, and that will move the chains again here for Alvarado. And just like we saw to end that first half, they've got a really good drive here going.
And this shows how important that last drive was, because now they can stay in their comfort zone. They're not down by 2 scores in the second half. They're down by 1. They can just stay where they want to be, letting Labermeyer drive this offense. Goes up the middle, picks up another first down, and the Indians are threatening to tie here in the third quarter.
I formation here for Alvarado. And he hands it off, misdirection play. The ball is loose, ball's on the ground. Who has it? There is a scramble for it, and it looks like the Mustangs may have possession. No official ruling, and there it is. Waxahachie Life takes over possession on the miscommunication, and who else but Darius Fuller getting at the bottom of the pile, coming up with the fumble.
And Fuller's going to have to fight to get this, gets on it, and that's just a botched execution. It looked like that's one of those situations where you're not sure which side the running back's going to. He probably thought Fullermeyer was supposed to go to one side. He runs into him. The ball pops loose. Huge, huge break for Life, as they don't even have to do a thing and are able to hop on what's essentially their second turnover of the game.
Back to pass. Looking to get it across the middle. A flag will come out as it looks like the hit was there early. Jason Bolton with some early contact on Chris Gillespie. So that should be an automatic first down. Not a ton of yardage on the penalty, but it should be an automatic first down.
And it will be pass interference. That'll be on Jason Bolton, who again just made a little bit of contact too early, and so it gives Life a fresh set of downs and a couple of yards up to the 40-yard line. And it is funny, for as good as Life's defense has been all game, that the first turnover they force is an unforced error.
Yep.
On Alvarado's part. All they had to do was hop on the ball, and it was an effort to get on the ball, that's for sure. So it was a great job of getting on it. But they didn't have to go. I was mentioning how it's so hard to punch the ball out of Labermeyer's hands. Well, they didn't have to. It just kind of fell out of his hands with the botched handoff.
Carmella swings it out to the flats, and he's hit immediately. Huge hit. Ball is loose.
Where are they going to rule this?
It looks like it's just a tackle for loss, but what a huge hit there on the outside.
The ball came loose. Oh, and Life got back on it. So either way, whatever the ruling was,
Cameron Webb read that play, got around the potential block by Gillespie, and just blew that play up, and it is 2nd and 12.
And he was clearly down, but what an absolute wallop from Cameron Webb.
Ramella hands it off to McCoy. McCoy tries to hurdle a man, but it's brought down by Jason Bolton.
And there's a couple of names we keep on calling tonight, and Jason Bolton is one of them. He got called for the pass interference a second ago, but disrupts McCoy there. McCoy's shown some hurdling abilities, but it's hard to hurdle that.
3rd and 11 after the gain of 1 by McCoy. And it looks like Ramella will have an empty backfield here. 3 out wide to his left, 2 to his right, stacked.
They've had a lot of success on the quick slants and crossing patterns, so let's see if that's where Gramella's looking on this 3rd and long.
Back to pass is Gramella. He floats it deep, and he finds no one as it goes out of bounds.
It felt like he wanted to get that ball into McCoy, as McCoy was breaking over the middle, had a little bit of room to work with, but then the pressure came, and so he just kind of tried to lead McCoy down the field, and McCoy was not making that break yet at all. Essentially goes down as a throwaway. So after the fumble, Alvarado's defense comes out strong and prevents Life from even leaving their own end of the field.
On to punt will be Kennedy Hartman. Rolls out right, rugby style kick. It's going to
Oh,
down
what
in a
roll.
huge roll here for the Mustangs. Gets down at essentially the 20-yard line, but that is a great punt by Hartman.
We were saying that earlier when Waxahachie Life was pinned deep and he punted it, and Alvarado was able to get the fair catch. That ball looked like it was going to get a nice skip and go down the field. That one did right there. He's going to punt that away from his own 26, and the ball's going to end up at the 21.
21, yep.
You can't ask for much more from a punter
Completely
right there.
flips the field position here.
So the fumble does not lead to any points, but it does essentially reset exactly where Alvarado was, although they took the ball over to 35 last time, so the field position battle is going Life's way.
They hand it off to the big man up front this time, big number 33 with the carry, Dalton Holt, the sophomore defensive end getting the carry. That's a big man in the backfield.
Life was a little bit quicker to respond on that, what I'd essentially call a fullback draw, than they were on the last one.
Second and 7 here after the short gain on first down.
A lot of shifting up front for Waxahachie Life.
Fake handoff, rolling out to his left, gets it out to the flat, and it is incomplete. There is a new running back in the game, Jackson Pate. So we'll keep an eye on the primary ball carrier tonight, Labermeyer.
And Xander Holt is the one that's going to make this play. He doesn't fall for the play action, just keeps his eyes on the quarterback the entire way, forces the throw away.
Labermeyer has not been on the field since that fumble.
That is interesting. I don't know that you'd pull him for an accidental fumble, so
maybe dealing with an injury.
Yeah, I don't know what. I can't imagine with how good he's been that you'd.
Back to pass, steps up, gets it to the flat, almost has his man, almost makes a diving catch. Ty Ford on the outside, couldn't quite get there. I'll tell you what, for a guy who doesn't throw the ball much, he had some zip on that and got it out to that sideline. Only his man had a chance at it. That's not a terrible throw from the quarterback.
No, he gave Ford a chance to, like I said, you got a hand on. I'm not saying that's one that you absolutely should have caught, but he could have caught it because of where it was thrown. But as it is, a 3 and out. Life's going to get the ball back with probably pretty good field position.
The punt is off. It's end over end. It's going to go out of bounds.
And
we'll see where they mark it.
Yeah, we've seen some really good punts tonight from Jackson Pate, but that one came off his foot, and Waxahachie Life is going to take over in Alvarado field position.
Good field position.
And obviously we'll monitor going forward where exactly William Labermeyer is, because if he's not able to return to the game, we don't know exactly what the situation is at the moment with him not being on that drive. That would be devastating for the Alvarado rally attempts. For Life, though, this will be their best field position of the evening and a chance to put this back to a 2-score game as Grimella retakes the field.
Bunch formation here for Grimella. McCoy in the backfield. He's going to take the snap, hand it off. McCoy trying to find some room up the middle. Was brought down by a host of Alvarado defenders. That's going to be a gain of, call it 2 on the first down rush, making it 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Bryson Fuller's going to disrupt this play, come in from the left side. Essentially is that second wave that usually drops back to make a tackle. Instead, he cuts inside, wraps him up, keeps that run from going too far.
2nd and 8 here for the Mustangs.
Mustangs taking their time right now.
They snap the ball with 10 on the play clock, flicks it out to his man in the backfield. McCoy makes a man miss. Good block on the outside, and he has enough for the first down and is thrown out of bounds. No flag. It was not late, but that will move the chains here for Waxahachie Life.
McCoy, I mean, he starts off running horizontally. That's such a tough place for him to be, and that could have been a penalty, honestly.
I was looking for it.
I can see McCoy's disagreement with the referee there. It was a bang-bang play, but that's so tough to be running horizontally, catch it, and then cut up the field. But he makes it happen so effortlessly. And now Life is down to the Alvarado 28-yard line with a fresh set of downs. Here he goes again.
Swings it out again to McCoy, looking for some blockers, turns it upfield, You see him turn those jets on to get around that corner.
Yeah, he's kind of striding. He's striding here, staying patient, waiting to see should he cut inside, should he go outside, waits, and then right there.
Plants the foot and he turns upfield.
Hit the boost button. It's easy in that and it's harder in real life, but he makes it look almost that easy.
2nd and 4 here for the Mustangs offense. Looks like they're sticking with this bunch formation. They have 3 to the left this time. McCoy remains in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to McCoy. McCoy lowers the shoulder, falls forward for a first down. That will move the chains again, and more importantly, it'll keep this clock moving for the Mustangs.
Oh, correct. That wasn't falling. That was falling with style for the first down.
Moves those chains inside the 20-yard line. Officially in the red zone are the Mustangs.
And I remarked on this earlier, but Alvarado has such an interesting defensive setup. There's only going to be one man with his hand in the ground to start this play. The other 10 are staying up. It's worked for him a lot of the night, and maybe that's just to keep your eyes up, prevent things from spreading out, but right now Waxahachie Life is moving nonetheless.
Empty backfield here for the Mustangs. Back to pass. Quick hitter cannot complete the pass. A flag comes out, and this should be, again, pass interference. The second one of the second half here for the Indians. And a relatively clean game on both sides. Not a ton of penalties between these two teams.
Not a ton of penalties, just a couple of procedural things here and there, a couple of holdings, and now 2 pass interferences. And even both of those have not been deep down the field. They've just been trying to make a play on the ball and coming in a split second too early. As that one, again, same thing. Came in just about a half step before the ball got there. And sometimes you get away with those. You usually you're okay with your DBs, your corners doing things like that, because I'd say 50% of the time you're actually going to get away with that and make a play.
It's about a 3-yard penalty, not a huge yardage penalty, but it will be that automatic first down. So the 1st and 10 now from the 15 for the Mustangs. Mella back to pass.
Oh,
rolls out to his right, and he just gets rid of it. We'll see what the call is here.
I think they are going to say that David Gonzalez was in the area. Although
nope, they do throw the flag.
I was just about to say, I don't think the ball got back to the line of scrimmage, so it doesn't matter regardless. Yep. So this will be a intentional grounding. Yeah, and that's what I'm pretty sure that's the ref explaining right now, is that the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. And so it turns into essentially a quasi-sack for Blake Bledsoe coming in on the corner.
Okay, intentional grounding by the Mustangs. That's a loss of down.
And it'll be 2nd and 16 now for the Mustangs.
And looking back on it, I'm not even sure you can make a compelling case that the receiver was legitimately in the area. The ball didn't get the line of scrimmage. So after the pass interference gives him a couple of yards, a intentional grounding is going to basically lose back all those yards plus a few that they gained. Keep them behind the chains. And this is big for the Indians. We are now, believe it or not, in the waning moments of the 3rd quarter. You don't want to go down 2 scores right now. You want to find a way to keep this a 1-score game if you can.
Ramella comes out with 3 to his left, 1 to his right. McCoy in the backfield. 2nd and 16 now for the Mustangs offense after the intentional grounding penalty. Ramella takes a snap. He's back to pass. Steps up, and he's going to get met by that defensive line. And 2 plays in a row, Blake Bledsoe making his presence felt. This time he gets the sack, and now it's going to be 3rd and long for the Mustangs.
And really, all night long, the Mustangs have done a good job of giving Gramella time to throw. He's faced a little bit of pressure here and there, but I don't believe he's had any sacks other than maybe that one was like a 1-yard loss, almost more of a run play. Now they are coming at him with a vengeance and have him at a 3rd and extremely long.
3rd and 21 here for the Mustangs.
Now I think you're dialing up a play just to get some yards back, to give you either a more manageable 4th down or potentially get within field goal range. You'd love to at least walk away with 3 to restore that 2-possession lead.
Gramella steps up. He's just going to take off with it. He gets brought down at the 25-yard line, and that is where it will be 4th down. And we see the kicking unit come onto the field.
Yep.
Kennedy Hartman's got a pretty good leg. The wind is still at this point in the evening, and so no wind to speak of here.
So it's going to be a 43-yarder for Hartman. And I wonder, no, there's not enough of a discrepancy because the wind has been coming a little bit from this direction, but you can't get to the fourth quarter. Big field goal here for Hartman.
Like you said, 43-yarder on the way. Snap is down, kick is up. It's got enough leg. Is it good? And it is. Kennedy Hartman, a huge field goal here for the Mustangs, puts them up 10 and 2 scores as we get ready to head into the fourth quarter. Huge field goal.
And it really wasn't even, definitely wasn't a arching kick, but it wasn't even that much of a line drive. It went through the uprights with plenty of room to spare. So Hartman lays in a good leg right there, and with just a less than 11 seconds to play here in the third quarter, Waxahachie Life is able to put some points up on the board. First points added of the second half, and most importantly, regain that 2-possession lead. And you capitalize on what was a very good drive. You were moving. You'd hate to walk away with no points, especially once you get into the red zone. You face the intentional grounding and the sack. Essentially 2 sacks. That's what essentially that goes down mentally as. So to be able to get those points, and hey, credit to Grimella picking up those extra yards. If he hadn't picked up those 6 yards or so on the run, you're definitely not trying that field goal. So Grimella does just enough to get some points on the board. And now it's back up to Alvarado in a 10-point hole to get back into this game. I think we mentioned it could be a 17-14 game pregame.
Yes, we did.
It's definitely vibing that way at the moment.
It's on its way. Hartman to kick off. And another one of these pooch kicks. It's brought in at just about the 20-yard line. He's going to try to get a return here. Lowers the shoulder and gets up past the 35-yard line. Was Logan McDaniel the up man.
And he bobbled that ball for a second. He didn't have a full handle on it, but once he had it, it was a good job of finding his seam to the corner, and decent field position for the Indians to start this drive off at their, just in the shadow of their 36-yard line. They'll have time for one play before the horn in what has been a very fast-moving third quarter.
And good news, Will Labermeyer is back in the backfield for the Indians.
So don't know, maybe he was just getting a little bit of a respite. He's had to carry a lot, and he's going to carry again.
The toss goes his way, and he gets met a good tackle there by the Mustangs defense to close out this third quarter as the teams will put their force up and switch sides here as we approach the last 12 minutes to play in this tightly contested defensive battle between the Mustangs and the Indians, where the Mustangs lead 17-7. Again, 12 minutes to play. We are in crunch time here, Tim.
And in a game like this, where the defenses have dominated so much, this is when it's gut check time for both sides, because now you are worn down, especially with Labermeyer, how much he's been running against your defense. Can you keep pitching the game you've been pitching, especially if your Waxahachie Life? Can you keep pitching this game you've been having going all evening long? You've only given up 1 touchdown. Can you keep it up for 12 more minutes? It's tough. It's tough. Now, I will say the big thing for them is their offense has done a good job of stringing together some drives. They are not as gassed as they could potentially be, thanks to how, especially that last drive, even though they only turned out to a field goal, they stayed on the field plenty of time, marched down the field, and most importantly, got the lead back to 2 possessions. Labermeyer over 100 yards on the evening, almost 5 yards a carry. Hardly a surprise there.
2nd and 8 here for the Indians. They send a man in motion. And the handoff to Labermeyer. He's got some room to run. He gets brought down, but not after a good gain there of 4. It's going to bring up 3rd and short here, 3rd and mid for the Indians.
And you have to think at this point in the ball game, even on your end of the field, you might be thinking 4-down territory. Especially because you have to imagine you like your odds if you're handing off to Labermeyer twice. Although it's been boom or bust, mostly positive, but whenever it's gone negative, it's been 4 yards negative. All sorts of changes at the line for life.
Here come the Indians on 3rd down. And they will hand it off to Labermeyer. Labermeyer lowers the shoulder and ducks forward and gets enough for the 1st down, and that will move the chains here for Alvarado.
And Life threw everything they had at him, and that was just a hold on for dear life call for the offensive line. Just stand up, hold on for long enough for Liebermeyer to get enough momentum to get the first down, because there was no trickery there on either side. Both sides pretty much said, all right, let's go strength against strength and see who wins. And the Indians got just enough to claim the win right there.
New set of downs here for the Indians. They turn around and run the stretch play to Liebermeyer. Liebermeyer looking to get to the outside, bounces it back inside, fights his way for a first down and then some. Tough running there by Will Liebermeyer, moving these chains again for Alvarado. They're not ready to go away quite yet.
Absolutely not. And Liebermeyer here, again, looks like he's going to be done for at probably the 43-yard line. Hit, wrapped up, almost loses the ball, it looks like. Is able to fight inside the 40. Just the guttiness you've seen from both rushers tonight, Liebermeyer and McCoy, to get those extra yards after contact has been huge for keeping these two offenses going.
First and 10 here for the Indians. Play action, back to pass. Take it down, ball is loose. It's picked up, and the big man has it past the 40. Is he going to get brought down from behind? He will.
And
They're saying he's down. The ball came loose. They're saying he's down. It will be Waxahachie life ball, but a huge play there on first down. They tried to go play action, and that play was absolutely blown up. Take a look here. Drops back to pass, a huge sack, and who else, Tim? Darius Fuller knocking the ball out, recovered by Brent Arnold, and he's trying to outrun everybody. The ball does start to come loose, but that is close.
That was close. I think that's one of those, the knee hit and the threat of the ball was just enough attached to him that it wasn't a fumble, but
very close.
What an absolutely devastating hit from Darius Fuller. We're talking player of the game right now. Fuller has been huge on
both
defense.
sides of the ball.
Yeah, both sides of the ball, but especially on defense. He's made so many huge hits, just knocks that ball loose.
You hear coaches say, if you're a big guy and there's a loose ball, you fall on it, but not that time.
Brent Arnold, he had dreams of the end zone in his mind. And you know Fuller's probably thinking, if you'd let me pick it up, I probably would have scored. But it's all water under the bridge.
When I long ago played high school football, our defensive line, I didn't play defensive line, but our defensive line coach talked about if one of his big guys ever scored a touchdown, he's taking him out to a steak dinner. So maybe Big 55 was thinking he's got a steak dinner on his mind. It only happened once in my entirety of my high school career where a big guy for us scored a touchdown, and coach, true to his word, took him out to a steak dinner. You had to think Big Arnold was thinking about some steak dinner tonight, trying to take that. That is I think that's so close. I think that's a fumble.
It looks like Waxahachie Life may have got a little bit of a break because the ball is jostling, and
that's tough to say. He's got that left hand.
He's got his left hand on it still. He's definitely so. I mean, we can't see it on the slow-mo. There's no way the ref could have called it on the field.
Yeah.
But what an absolutely huge turn of events. Just as Alvarado was starting to get moving, and all pretty much thanks to Darius Fuller with the bone-crushing hit of the night.
They will hand it off to McCoy as the Mustangs have phenomenal field position here late in this game, up 2 scores. You got to think they're going to be very happy to run this clock as much as they can and get away with a good drive with minutes taken off the clock.
Yeah, regardless of what happens right here, you want to run that clock. You want to get the clock down a little ways. As it looks like we're going to have a stoppage here. We're going to have some injury timeout, and coming back onto the field, Brent Arnold, who is usually the center as well. A lot of two-way players, but I think he needed a little bit of a breather after that. You don't usually ask your center to run that much.
Dead sprint 30 yards. You don't expect to see that much.
Plus the adrenaline's running. How much adrenaline does a center usually get in a game? I mean, it's just snap the ball, hit the guy. Snap the ball, hit the guy.
Very few times do they get the ball in their hands. In play does the center / defensive tackle. So he's
going to be finding every photographer after the game say, did you get a picture of me holding the ball? Please send me the picture of me holding the ball.
2nd and 8 as they hand it up the middle for a short gain of 1.
Clock still running right now, and regardless of what happens in this drive, even if Waxahachie Life doesn't get any points, the clock that you are burning right now, the fact that you flip field position entirely, is huge. You're in control of this game right now. Obviously, you'd love to go get a touchdown, which could really almost be a dagger at this point in the game. but you also don't want to take any risks. This is time that I think it's okay to be a little conservative, especially with how much you can trust your defense right now. Just stick to the game plan. Try to get the first down here and keep that clock moving.
5 to snap it. Gramella takes a snap, and he's going to pitch it. And almost brought down. He reverses field, cuts it up to the middle, and then upended for an ultimate loss of 2. That was Kendrick Green.
That's big, though, because it leaves some options in play here. If he's thrown for a loss back at what looked like to be the 35, great job of staying on his feet. Now it will stay with a, don't want to say manageable 4th down when it's 4th and 10, but at least an achievable 4th down. 4th and 15 is when, again, you're tossing it up for grabs. Now you still have a lot of different routes in your playbook that can pick up 10 yards. Big one here. Gut check time for Alvarado. They need to make a stop.
Gramella takes a snap. He's back to pass. Gets it across the middle. Almost has his man, and it's almost intercepted. That would have been picked off for potentially a second time. He could have 3 interceptions on the defense for Caden Ford. He's dropped 2 today.
But that's not a bad drop. No. That's actually one of those times that you're happy you dropped it. It just through the hands of Darius Fuller. That would have been a first down. But, yeah, actually not a bad drop for Alvarado, because if he'd have caught it, he'd have had the ball at the 15. Instead, they'd get to come back out to the 30. So the fumble ultimately does not bury Alvarado, but it does make things a lot tougher. Now just 8:02 remaining in the game. They're back at their 31-yard line. Need to make something happen pretty quickly now. You can't take you got to consider the clock very much on this drive now, because you know that if you don't move fast enough, you may never see the ball again, even if you score.
They line up under center, I formation. That is going to be a false start. The receiver on the outside got a little bit of a head start there, and it looked like we were running a passing play. I think the receiver just got a little too excited. I get to run a route. Let's get it going.
False start on the offense.
Yeah, that's just, again, coming out of the blocks too quickly.
Yep, definitely a passing play.
It was going to be the play action. You already see Labermeyer going in for the block. And it would have been a 2 option. Looks like you're going to have a guy probably running the curl underneath for the quick route. And look like they had a guy going deep, too, for maybe the heavy hitter. So definitely, if you're Alvarado, you want that one back, especially now that you've shown your cards. Now that Waxahachie Life, they're seeing that, too. They know exactly what just happened.
And they are back to pass. Here's Connor rolling out to his left, looking at the flat, finds his man, his fullback, and he's going to pick up 4. They're going to call it 3, actually, to the flat.
No, it's actually going to be. Oh, yeah, I was about to say it's going to be a loss, but actually, since they're 5 yards back, it's going to gain them 3 of those yards back. So not a whole lot doing. It's definitely crunch time for Alvarado. Not going to the hurry up just yet, and I understand it. You don't want to, obviously, a turnover here, or not getting the first down here is basically close to game over. So you got to get the right plays here, but you're gonna have to speed it up pretty quickly.
Back to pass, quick hitter, intercepted! What an interception! He's got open field. He fumbles it, picks it back up, still has open field in front of him, gets it down past the 10, and is brought down inside the 10-yard line. Huge interception. Sherwan Daniels goes up and brings it down.
And you know what? He was the one that almost broke up the touchdown pass earlier.
He got excited. He had a touchdown. Had he not dropped the ball,
that would have been a touchdown had he just held on to it. But trying to shift hands, ends up losing it.
It may not be the worst thing that he didn't score, because now the Mustangs can take some more time off the clock. They've got 9 yards to work with. It's first and goal.
Wow. And I mean, what an excellent play by Daniels to go. I mean, he's trying to shift the hands to the outside to get that right hand for stiff arming. But to go up that strong, that ball's zipping in fast and grab it. Like I said, Daniels was the one that almost broke up the touchdown at the end of the first half. Gets some redemption there with what might be a dagger interception.
Hand it off to McCoy up the middle. He's carrying some men with him. He's down at the 4-yard line, and it'll be second and goal from the 4.
Number 3, McCoy on the carry, brought down by number.
And we have an injured Mustang. It is Darius Fuller down on the field. And that's not what you want to see. Been a playmaker all night long on both sides of the ball.
And how about this so far for the Life defense in the second half? After giving up that touchdown at the end of the first half, in the second half, they had the fumble that they fell on because of the botched exchange between quarterback and running back. forced a 3 and out, then a devastating fumble that was very much caused by the defense, and almost taken back for a touchdown, then an interception almost taken back for the touchdown. So I was saying earlier, this is when it's gut check time. You've been doing it all game. Can you keep it going into the fourth quarter? So far, they've done it and more. Clock is again rolling, and Waxahachie Life is going to be content to kind of watch those digits tick down on the play clock.
They hand it off. McCoy up the middle is brought down by a host of defenders for no gain. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5, and maybe even a loss of 1 there for McCoy. So 3rd down here, another 40 seconds potentially off the clock here for the Mustangs if they snap it at 1.
And still, Alvarado's defense needs to make a stop here. It's a 2-possession game. You give them a touchdown, that might be all she wrote. If you can hold them, well, I don't think Waxahachie Life would even try a field goal here. I think this is 4-down territory. 10 and 13, not that big of a difference. So I think they've got to stop them on 2 straight plays.
They are back to pass. Rolling out is quarterback finds his man in the flat, almost had it off of his hands. Gramella.
Ashton Hill, I don't know if he would have had the touchdown, even if he had got it. He was rushing pretty fast to the sideline. There were some defenders in his way.
And it looks like they will bring on the field goal unit.
So a big stand for Alvarado. Alvarado's defense twice now has started drives deep in their own territory. They forced a turnover on downs last time, and right here they're holding to a field goal, which at the very least is going to keep this a 2-possession game. It'll just be 20-7, assuming it's good, obviously. We'll wait for that.
Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. Kennedy Hartman makes it a 20-7 ball game with 5:45 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Still a 2-possession game for the Indians, so not the worst outcome after the interception.
At this point, the more devastating thing about the interception is the time lost.
Yep.
I mean, all props to Alvarado's defense there. Like I said, starting 2 consecutive drives deep in their own field position. You force the turnover on downs, and then you hold inside goal-to-goal situations to make it just a field goal. So now you still have that shot. If you are Alvarado, you still have the chance. Problem is, there's only 5:45 remaining in this ball game. You need 2 scores. So now you're in touchdown and onside kick territory, and the field goal does make it to where you have to have 2 touchdowns. You can't get the touchdown field goal. So definitely not quite as nerve-wracking a field goal for Kennedy there, but he does a good job of kicking it through nonetheless. He has all 6 points in the half at the moment.
One of them came off that 43-yarder. He's had a big second half here in this game.
Yeah. Special teams have been big tonight. You figure in a low-scoring game they are going to be big, but with a lot of possession, field position battles, a lot of possession going on, and then 2 field goals to push what was a 14-7 lead to a 20-7 lead, and now it'll be up to the Mustangs defense, which outside of 1 drive have been immaculate tonight, to put a bow on this one.
Another pooch kick, fair catch called and brought in. They'll mark him right at that 25-yard line, and that is where Alvarado will take over. Down 13, 5:45 left to play in this one.
And they'll have to go to the air now. They still have all 3 timeouts, but you can't afford to have the clock moving at all at this point, really. You know, you start doing the math in your head. You really need to try to score in the next 3 minutes, and you'd love to be able to score without using a timeout, so that if you can't convert the onside kick, then you have a chance of getting the ball back by using your timeouts. So it'll be up now.
1st and 10, pitch play outside. Looking for some running room, and there is none to be had. Gain of, we'll call it 1, maybe 2 on that 1st down carry by Labermeyer.
And he has some numbers tonight, but it just hasn't been there consistently enough for Alvarado. They need to be getting more 6-7 yard runs, and there's been too many 1-yard runs and too many losses on the rushing attack.
Misdirection, Labermeyer up the middle. He's brought down. Another short gain here by Alvarado, and the Mustangs with some tough run defense here to start this drive by the Indians.
And a quick third down situation for Alvarado. It's obviously 4-down territory now. The clock is moving, under 5 minutes to play.
Back to pass. Steps up, tries to go across the middle, and he cannot. It's broken up by the defensive back on the outside, Darren Jackson. Not a lot of work for these defensive backs tonight, but they've done a good job with the opportunities that they've had in coverage. And there, another good one. Breaks up the pass, did not get there early. Brings up 4th down.
And that was actually really good because that ball was sort of tipped coming out of the quarterback's hand. So usually that's how you see, or actually it wasn't tipped, but the quarterback kind of got hit and it wobbled out. So that's when a lot of times you see that pass interference is you're trying to judge how fast the ball's coming, then it comes too slow. He kept right where he needed to be, laid the hit right when it got there, and this could be the ball game right here. 4th and 5. Alvarado has got to get this, or there's probably not enough time left.
Back to pass. He steps up, gets it out to the flat. It's brought in. Huge catch. Missed the tackle, and he falls forward. Down just shy of the 50. But that is a huge conversion on 4th down. He finds his man on the outside, Ty Ford.
We've seen Ford adapt to a couple of these, and this one is the best so far. Has to go up around, does a full pirouette, breaks loose, and almost finds his footing to take that for even more. Alvarado's still alive.
They hand it off to Labermeyer. Labermeyer up the middle, has room to run, gets his feet cut out from under him. Pretty good tackle there in the open field by Sharwan Daniels.
Yeah, Daniels with the interception, and right there, that it might have been just as big because he would have had some room to run, Labermeyer. Just scoops him off his feet enough.
2nd and 6 here for the Indians. Fullback dive, and that is going nowhere. He falls forward for 2 yards. But a good job there by the Mustangs defense to sniff that one out, and it was stopped by big Jeremiah Johnson. Right there in the middle, plugging that gap, and a short gain. Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 4. A pitch to Labermeyer. Labermeyer looking for some blocking. He finds a little bit of running room and looks like he's going to fight forward for the 1st down. It looked like they had him stopped initially shy of the 1st down, but a good job by Labermeyer to fight through the contact.
Yeah, bounces off 1, 2, 3. Counted almost 4 Mustangs to pick up that 1st down. Ball to the 40, but the clock is ticking.
1st down. Fake it, they run out to the left. Throws across his body, almost brought in by Ford across the sideline, or down by the sideline. That is another tough catch, but some good velocity being shown by Wes Connor. Got the ball out there. That's not a terrible throw.
No, it's not. He put it, again, he put it where Ford was the only guy that had a shot to get it, and Ford has made some great catches tonight. That would have been the best by a long shot. Does stop the clock,
yes,
bring up 2nd and 10. And now I feel like you got to stay in the air at this point. You can't really afford to lose too much more clock in this game.
2nd and 10 here for the Indians. They are going to pitch it. It's going to be a reverse. They get it back to the quarterback. He steps up, tries to go deep across the middle. It's underthrown. What a catch by Ty Ford into double coverage. Like you said, we've seen him make some incredible catches tonight. That one is the best of the evening. Just went up and got it.
This is not how you draw it up on offense because it doesn't even get him open. He's double covered, just throwing it up for grabs.
Wow.
2 men in his face.
What a
Ford
catch.
comes down with it.
Stops the clocks until the ball gets set. They do hand it off to Labermeyer. Labermeyer up the middle looking for a touchdown. Keeps his feet moving. He's down inside the 5. Down at the 2-yard line. So we are under 3 minutes left to play in this one. And Alvarado is threatening here.
Yeah, Labermeyer just pounding and moving. Clock is moving. Alvarado's got to get moving here.
2nd and goal here from the 2.
They still have all 3 timeouts, and they are obviously going to hang on to those for future situations.
They hand it off. Labermeyer lowers the shoulder. Does he get in? He does. Will Labermeyer gets his 1st touchdown of the evening, his 10th on the season, and he makes this a 20-13 game, barring an extra point, and that is a really good offensive drive by Alvarado with 2.5 left to play and all 3 timeouts. We have got a ball game on our hands here, Tim.
Coming off of 3 out of their 4 last drives, resulting in turnovers, that is gutsy. Going down the field when you absolutely had to. Kick is up, and it is good. Converting some big 3rd downs, converting the big 4th down. This game could have ended back at the 30-yard line when there was a 4th and 5. They converted that, and now there is still some hope on the Alvarado sideline. They've got 3 timeouts. I do feel like you still got to try the onside kick here, just because it doesn't really matter in my mind where Waxahachie Life takes over. If you pin them deep and you hold them 3 and out, you got a shot. If they get the ball at the 40-yard line, you hold them 3 and out, you still got a shot. If they pick up any first downs, no matter where they get it, game's pretty much over. So I feel like you got to come out here, at least try some variety of onside kick for a chance to get the ball back. We will see, though, as the yardage is now almost completely even. 284 for Life, 281 for Alvarado. 3 turnovers, though, for Alvarado, and that really could be 4. Obviously, it is 4, essentially, when they had the defensive turnover that resulted in another turnover on the exact same play. But the offense has turned the ball over 3 times, all 3 in this half.
157 yards for Labermeyer, just under 5 yards to carry, and now that touchdown that brings this to a 20-14 game.
There was lots of talking on the sideline, so let's see what Alvarado dials up. I'm saying they should go for the onside kick. We will see what they opt to do. And based upon where they're kind of lining up, it looks like they are.
Well, we see a hands team out there for the Mustangs. A lot of receivers out there.
And it looks like they're going, kind of placing that unique, straight up and down. It looks like they're going to try at least some variety of onside kick. They don't have to follow the NFL rules, so they can still kind of try some unique looks here. They will spread out completely wide, though.
And here is the kick. Walking up on it, and it will be a deep kick, so they will concede the time and the yardage. Will Alvarado. So the Mustangs will take over here.
This is going to your defense and saying, we trust you, I guess. It's saying, go out there, make 3 straight stops, give our offense the ball back with around 2 minutes and decent field position, because we gave you decent field position to start off with. But Waxahachie Life has shown a lot of evidence that they can make these first downs.
And if you are Alvarado, you have to take these timeouts right now.
Yeah.
You can't, with the way you run your offense, you've got to have as much time on the clock as possible to get down the field.
Yeah, you really can't even afford to give as much as one first down in this situation. Backs are against the wall now for the defense. They've held well in this half, though, only giving up 6 points, especially with some really negative field position throughout the half.
They hand it off to McCoy. McCoy bounces it outside, cuts it back up, and then here is a flag. We could see this coming back.
And that's going to be big. It'll stop the clock. Now, you do have the option, if you're Alvarado, to decline the penalty, take the down, and get a free timeout. We'll see what they do if they want to take the yardage, because there was some yards gained.
Oh, I take the yardage. Or I take it back.
Yeah, because he did pick up a full 4 yards, so you could probably, if you had stopped him shorter of that, that's one of those times you might decline it and get the free timeout along with the loss of down.
And that's assuming it is a holding penalty. They haven't said anything yet.
We assume a lot up here.
And it will be a holding penalty against the offense.
And Alvarado will accept it, which, what it does is it makes it that much harder for Life to go pick up the first down.
You put yourself in a position, only 7 seconds off the clock on that play. You put yourself in a position to not give up the first here.
I feel like that's the first holding call we've seen on either team, at least on the offensive line, throughout this game. I don't recall any others, which is really impressive. It shows, especially with how good these defenses have been.
We saw one. It brought them back after a potential
That's
bomb
right.
in the first half.
It was on you're right. Yeah, it was on Alvarado.
The clock will run, but it is 1st and 20. Can't use a timeout there. Now back to pass now. He's going to go deep with it. Fuller goes up and get it. What a huge catch. Down past the 50, fighting with his man. Loses a shoe. He's down past the 45, and that is a huge first down. What a gutsy call to trust your fill-in quarterback to go out, find one-on-one coverage, and throw it up for his man, Darius Fuller, to go get it.
And this ball seemed to hang up for an eternity. Fuller had time to stop, come back completely, and get it. and then makes a couple of moves.
Lost his shoe on the play, but he kept fighting for an extra 5 yards.
And that could be it right there.
Timeout by Alvarado. They have to start taking these timeouts now.
Colby Grumella coming in as the backup, shaking off his early struggles. He threw interceptions on the first 2 drives. One just got erased because of the fumble afterwards. And this right here, he's just going to...
In the face of pressure, too. He stepped up, had a guy coming right in his grill.
And it was a little bit underthrown, but that's when you trust your receiver, Darius Fuller, to come back and get it.
The hardest route to cover as a defensive back is an underthrown ball. Because you interfere with the receiver.
Exactly.
If you make a play, and then it's a lose-lose situation as a defensive back.
Especially when you're isolated. If you've got some help, then you can essentially both make the play at once. But when you're isolated,
they sold out against the run and left their defensive backs on an island.
And you love the gamble by life of saying, hey, you know what? We're going to try it here. We're going to try to go win the game right here.
Darius Fuller has been making plays all night long, and that is a big one, possibly the biggest of the game so far.
Yeah.
And if it does indeed ice it here.
Yeah, might just go ahead and ice it. Either way, now Alvarado definitely with no more margin of error now.
Hand it off to McCoy. McCoy tries to cut up the middle. He is brought down quickly for a gain of 1. And Alvarado, we got to think they might take a timeout here. If they don't, they'll take it on 2nd down.
Yeah, they're electing not to on 1st down. I guess that's because if you had given up the 1st down there, you could have still called enough timeouts to keep the game. As it is, I imagine life will keep it on the ground for the rest of the way. Over 300 yards offense for the Mustangs.
No reason to snap the ball here within the next 12 seconds if you're the Mustangs. You want to take this all the way down to 1. They may even take a timeout. I wouldn't, but they should snap the ball here. 5 seconds on the play clock. Ramella snaps it with 1 on the clock. McCoy gets the handoff. He's going to get brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Good tackle there from behind by Brayson Fuller, and Alvarado does indeed take a timeout here with 1 minute left to play.
Yeah, Fuller with some good pursuit, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long. 1 minute to play on the dot. 1 timeout remaining for the Indians, so if they can get a stop here, well, that's assuming life just runs it. If you get a 1st down here, the game's over.
Yep.
They've already shown that they trust their quarterback to unleash it when he's deep in his own end facing a 1st and 20. So they might just uncork one here, try to go get the game, ice it entirely on the 1st down. Regardless, if they don't, you imagine Alvarado would be getting the ball back with somewhere in the neighborhood of around 45 seconds, potentially pinned very deep. So this is one of those complete, do you go safe and almost certainly know your outcome, or do you go for it all? I don't have a problem with throwing here.
No, Tim, run the ball.
Because regardless, if it's incomplete, they've got 1 timeout. They'll still be pinned as deep. The clock will still be just as much of a factor in that situation. So I got no problem. Gramella's shown me enough tonight.
No.
I'm saying uncork it.
I'm saying you turn around.
I've come around.
No, you turn around and hand the ball off here, and they will. They give it to McCoy up the middle, and he gains about 4 yards, getting it just past the original line of scrimmage, and that will be the final timeout for Alvarado. They went against you there, Tim. I'm not. You're getting too cute over here with these passing
You know
predictions.
what? The 1st and 20 bomb just got me. You saying, you know what? Let's just throw it. Let's just keep throwing.
Oh man.
So now Alvarado will get the ball back. The defense, after getting burned on the deep pass, they come back in a big way, make another stop to where they will have a shot. Now the offense is going to be more than likely pinned pretty deep with basically no time to spare, but they're going to have a shot. They're going to have a chance to get down there, and we predicted a pretty low-scoring tight game. Well, we are right there, 20-14, and the Indians are about to get the ball back with a chance to pull the big comeback.
We'll see what they do here on 4th down. They've not sent the punter out here yet. They've got the offense in the huddle.
I can't imagine that they go for it here because the field position would be huge. I feel very good about the about the Life defense not giving up a 90-plus yard drive, but they are bringing the offense back onto the field. Grimella is back out there. The receivers are out wide.
This is a head scratcher.
This is interesting. Unless it's maybe a pooch kick, quick punt.
He's not far back enough, I don't think, for one of these
Or,
punts.
you know what, you got your timeouts. They may just be trying to. And
Here
now
it
he's
is. We
gonna-
saw them do this against Athens.
He went up to try to potentially draw him off sides. Now he drops back for the punt, and they're going to go ahead and call a timeout. Probably the right move there. I guess, you know what, you got the timeouts to burn. You might as well go up there, see if you get a free 5 yards, which could change the math on things. And now I bet we'll probably see the regular punting. Yeah, now we see the offense coming off the field, and the regular punting unit will come on. Yeah, I couldn't imagine why you would risk giving Alvarado the ball just 58 yards away from the end zone. That's very achievable. That's Hail Mary range almost right there to begin with.
You also have to consider here, you don't want to risk a big return either from the punt return.
Yeah, you're looking for a coffin corner kick here. I'd be willing to sacrifice 5 or 10 yards to avoid the chance of a big punt return, because there's playmakers out there that can make that happen.
Coming out of the timeout, we will see the punting unit on, led by Kennedy Hartman, who's had a really good night. And you mentioned that he has scored the only 6 points in the second half here for the Mustangs.
Just a reminder before this one ends, we're right back here next Friday night, October 16th, with Midlothian Heritage. This one's been a ball. We'll see how next week is like. This has been a great ball game. Tightly contested, a minute to go. Indians about to get their shot.
The punt is off. It's a low line drive, and just like you said, into the corner. It goes out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. Wow.
He's going to mark it out to about right at the 15-yard line.
15-yard line. So a good punt there.
Yeah, very
by Hartman.
very good
continues his really good night.
Yeah, kicked it well away from anybody. Obviously, no one had a shot at a return. Didn't get the touchback to give me the extra 10 yards. So, 49 seconds left, 85 yards to go.
No timeouts.
If I'm Alvarado, I'm looking at one guy only, and that's Ty Ford. He's been your big play receiver all night. He's shown he can make those deep catches. Give your quarterback enough time to throw and heave it deep to Ty Ford.
They come out in the I formation. Play action, back to pass, and he is looking that way. He tries to get it to him. Good catch. That's going to move the chains and stop the clock here for a second. Ty Ford goes down and gets it. Looks like they're going to spike the ball here. I mean, they should. And they do. They spike the ball. 36 seconds left on the clock. It'll be 2nd and 10 here for the Indians.
And Ty Ford did a great job getting open on that crossing route. Connor threw just a good enough pass for Ford to go get it. See here, running the play action. I don't think anybody's biting on the play action defensively. As Ty Ford had to go to the ground to get it. Ball at the 30-yard line, 70 yards away, 36 seconds to go.
Back to pass, rolling out to his right. Throws a dart towards the sideline. It's brought in by Ford.
Clock's going to move.
Not a first down. The clock will be moving.
Big stop by the Mustangs. Not letting them get the first down and knocking them down inbounds. Precious seconds. I don't think the Indians realized the clock hadn't stopped.
They got to get set. 15 seconds left to play. Rolling out to his left. Looking deep down to the sideline. Intercepted, and that'll do it. And he just falls down with 5 seconds left, and that ices the game. Draylon DeQuire broke on the ball, the corner route towards the sideline. I mean, you have to know that they're going to the sideline there, and he played it perfectly. And DeQuire ends the game and does this smart thing, runs out a little bit of time and just takes a knee and ends the game, and that will do it.
DeQuire started things off with the 41-yard touchdown catch in the first quarter to give him a 7-0 lead. And now he polishes it off with the nail in the coffin interception. The Waxahachie Life defense forces 4 turnovers in the second half. And now, much earned, Colby Grimella is going to get to go out and take a knee for a homecoming Friday victory, 20-14 over the Alvarado Indians. 1-1 in conference. And we got a whistle here. And a timeout.
Timeout by the Mustangs. They had too many men on the field there for the victory formation.
Everybody wants in on this.
I've always said that a coach should never leave the half with timeouts left, and they're taking that to heart right here. I've always said that. I don't care what the situation is. You never leave timeouts in your pocket.
So now Waxahachie Life's going to move to 1-1 in conference, second win on the year. Big win with Midlothian Heritage on the horizon next Friday. And you just love what you saw from Grumella tonight. Like we said, as you know, especially responding from that tough loss last week in Slavega, you love what you saw from Grumella. The development over 4 quarters. The defense so strong. When you give up 62 points last week, I don't care who you're playing. When you come out and you give up only 14 points, force 4 turnovers, couple of turnover on downs. Great effort by the defense and the offense. They had it when it mattered most. And the Mustangs get the win.
As the teams line up at the 50-yard line to shake hands, that will do it. I think they're actually going to forego the 50-yard line.
It's
COVID.
It's just the wave.
I get it. It's the wave.
It's the wave.
I'm used to the 50-yard line, shaking hands, dapping up, saying good game. But that will do it here in Waxahachie. The Mustangs walk away with a 20-14 win against the conference opponent Alvarado. Like you said, a big win there for the Mustangs. Getting that first conference victory always feels good, but the tests do not stop. Next week, Midlothian Heritage comes to town, and they are a juggernaut, Tim.
Yeah, they are. They already beat this Alvarado team pretty soundly last week. So the Mustangs are going to have their hands full next week, but they come into that game with this boost of momentum. They are fired up after this one. A well-earned, hard-fought victory. They did it with offensive big plays when it mattered most. They did it with some on the ground, a lot through the air with the backup quarterback, and the defense with big plays, none bigger than that one right there.
Big strip sack, fumble sack, and then the recovery. Great defensive half there for the Mustangs. Really put the exclamation point on this game. So that is your final 20-14. The Mustangs walk away with a victory on homecoming. Congratulations once again to all the nominees and the winners of the 2021 homecoming court here for the Waxahachie Life Mustang crowd. For my partner Tim Roberts, I'm Adam Ferguson. I wanted to take the chance to thank you for tuning in and watching the Champion Sports Network.
I'm surprised you haven't screwed up since Saturday Sports Network yet. I would have. It's in my brain. I might mess up and say Champion. So hard about your sucking Sports Network. How was my kickoff? Oh, it's you. It's you. No, I can feel it.